Hello, welcome to the second episode of the Clutch Corner. Today I have with me Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Royal A. Shepard, and Alex Toledo. We are going to be talking a lot about the James Harden situation because there's some interesting things that came up today. And yeah, you guys have anything else?
Do you want me to? This is your show. I'm trying not to take over your show. You want
I
to
mean,
go?
it was a surprise. We weren't supposed to be doing this today
Running
anyways,
an audible.
This was
but
major audible. Well, okay, we got an episode of 5 on the Floor coming out tonight with Eric Reed. So listen to that. I spent 45 minutes with Eric Reed. I'm gonna get in and get out of the way. Okay, so and then lead it back to you guys. So today, basically, Adam, why don't you say the report? It wasn't even really a report. It was just kind of a sort of an update. Like this thing is not dead yet. Why don't you put out here what you tweeted, because it seems like what the Heat did, and it was the Heat, what the Heat did right afterwards, which was basically leak the same statement to 3 beat writers, came almost immediately or within an hour of
yeah.
what you put out on Twitter and what got aggregated by some of these Twitter sites like NBA Central, Hoop Central, etc. So what did you put out there, and then I'll say my piece, I guess.
Right. So basically, I just tweeted an update about the whole situation saying it's not really news or anything. It's just the Heat, the Nets, and the Sixers are still talking with the Rockets about James Harden. The Heat want to get a deal done, and they're actively discussing it. I didn't say the Heat were getting James Harden or that they were in advanced negotiations and that a deal was going to get done soon. I said that all three of those teams want James Harden and they're still discussing it. So I guess that news that came out, and I guess all the social platforms ran with it, saying that the Heat are probably going to get James Harden. That prompted the Heat to send the beat writers the information. I guess I'm not sure how it played out.
Okay. This is where I can jump in because I have 25 years of experience on this end. The other thing that happened was Jimmy Butler spoke to the media today and was asked about James Harden. And I know Chef Trilly, who has been on your program before, is now tweeting about that as we speak. The sort of the coincidence of that. So let me just put this out here from the beginning. First thing, we're not at war with the Miami Heat. I greatly appreciate the relationship with the Miami Heat that I've developed over 25 years. I greatly appreciate how they've welcomed 5 Reasons, how they've credentialed us, how they've credentialed Alex, how they put us on the Zoom calls. We are not at war with the Miami Heat, so stop all that stuff, okay? No, okay? I just want to make that very clear from the beginning. There's no battle between 5 Reasons and the Miami Heat that I'm aware of. I mean, nobody's reached out to me from the Heat in a negative context. Quite the opposite. I've been speaking to people inside the Heat for the past 2 weeks, okay? Maybe not the same people who released the statement to the beat writers. So I just want to make that very clear, okay? Second thing is sometimes I'm on those statements. Today I was not. Again, I'm not upset about that. You know, you want to go with the traditional outlets, you go with the traditional outlets. I will say we were the only outlet that was actually in the bubble, other than AP. So we're a big issue of that. But beyond that, look, I've been doing this for 25 years. This is the game, okay? This is the game. I mean, I've told this story many times. I was introduced to covering the NBA by, I was a 23-year-old snot-nose like Alex, covering over at LaSalle, where the Heat used to practice, and they used to wait for the kids to get out of practice so that they could go in themselves and be there. And I remember because I had a date set up that night at Morton's in West Palm, and I wanted to get back to my damn date. And I asked Pat Riley specifically, I was intimidated by the man. This was my first year covering a major beat. And I asked him specifically if anything was going on from a trade front. And he looked me in the eye and said no. And so I took my beeper to Morton's because that's what the Herald gave us. I was at the Palm Beach Post at that time. That's what we had those times. I went to Morton's, and then I got a beat that something had happened, and the Heat had traded 5 players for 5 players. And one of the 5 players they got was Tim Hardaway, who in a lot of ways changed the course of the franchise for the next few years. I've been at this game forever. You cannot believe anything a team says. Riley said he wasn't doing anything after the 05 season. He made the biggest trade in NBA history. Okay, I could go through all of this repeatedly. So that's the second thing I'm going to say is that I understand the game. We got thrown under the bus. I got thrown under the bus. Adam got thrown under the bus. That's fine. That's part of this deal. But I'm going to say this very clearly, okay? And we're now what Riley calls peripheral opponents, okay? if you've read The Winner Within or anything else, peripheral opponents is anybody that gets in the way of his team focusing, okay? And we are now, I guess, for the time being, I feel like I have a pretty decent relationship with Pat, but like we are now peripheral opponents for the time being. But I'm going to say this. I stand behind the reporting of 5 Reasons. I stand behind Adam's reporting. I'll make it very clear. There is nobody, national media or local media, who was reporting about James Harden until Adam did. Just quite simply. They may not want to give credit for that, but that's the facts, okay? We're on text strings every night communicating on this stuff. We don't just throw things out. And I will say this, as Adam, myself, and Greg being the 3 primary people who have been reporting a lot of these stories, we keep talking to different people and arriving to the same damn information, okay? I know the 3 of us have different sources, very different, multiple sources on each end, and we keep arriving at the same information. So are all of these people making this up? All of them. They're all lying to us. Okay, fine. Okay? They're all lying to us. So if you look at it from that context,
we are pawns.
Right. Well, right. If I believe our information,
shout out to Kyrie.
Right. If I believe, we need the sage. If I believe our information, okay, then why would the Miami Heat put that out today? Well, there are a couple of reasons potentially. I don't know the reason. Potentially, one, you've got young players in that locker room who need to focus prior to a season.
Bingo.
2, maybe the Houston Rockets are making completely unreasonable demands, and so it doesn't look like a trade's going to happen before the season. We talked to Howard Beck about that on our podcast. And so if it's not going to happen, why not shoot the damn thing down now, right? Plus, Philadelphia made a leverage play by Daryl Morey lying to everybody about not offering Ben Simmons when we know for sure that he's offered Ben Simmons around the league, okay? And I've got multiple sources on that. We all do. So why shouldn't the Heat play that game too? And so it's convenient to go to your beat guys and get this stuff out there, okay? And it's very clear that that's what happened today.
All at the same time, at the exact same moment.
It's very, very
verbatim.
Right. So again, I'm not no issue with the Heat. I love the people I've dealt with the Heat at 25 years. They welcome me back with open arms. And so in my view, it's a great relationship. We appreciate it. And I know the game. I just believe in our information. And I wouldn't go with it unless we did. And listen, 2 years ago, everybody was calling me an idiot for saying that Jimmy Butler wanted to go to the Miami Heat. And Jimmy Butler wanted to go to the Miami Heat. Okay. Greg, Max Strus, or whatever the hell his name is, the star of this camp, you literally had him pegged to the Heat 2 years ago. We were first on, well, we didn't reveal the names. We were first locally on Bam Adebayo having COVID, which is why he didn't go back to the bubble. I could go on and on and on and on about
Duncan Robinson. Leif nailed that too.
Duncan Robinson nailed that too.
Juwan Howard.
About the information that we've been correct on. That does not mean a trade is going to happen. Okay.
No.
It does not mean a trade is going to happen. But it's not really fair to say that this has been cursory interest or something like that.
Gosh.
Nobody with a brain believes that.
Yeah.
Nobody with a brain believes that. Nobody who's covered this organization for any length of time believes that Pat Riley has cursory interest in a league MVP. Okay.
You also so one tweet.
It's so poetic.
Yeah, one tweet says there's cursory interest. The other tweet says one Heat executive really wants this deal to happen.
Yeah, I know. It was Barry's tweet, and I've talked to Barry a little since, and I have enormous respect for Barry. Everybody knows that. Okay, he is the best reporter in this town in terms of covering all the sports. Okay, not just being tied to one team. If I could throw money at Barry for us to hire Barry, we would throw. You know, if I could sell enough of these, we would hire Barry. And eventually,
I got 5 on it.
Eventually, when the Herald folds, we will. Eventually, when the Herald folds, we will. But until that day, sorry, I had to throw that in. But until that day comes, okay, I have enormous respect for Barry. I'm not questioning his information, but a lot of this stuff is both ways. It's like you've got some people out there saying people are noticing it too. Our followers are noticing. They're noticing that this information is inconsistent, and it's not necessarily our information that's inconsistent. That's all I'm going to say. Nope, there's no war with the Heat. And we love covering the Heat, and I understand why they did what they did today, and that's fine. But I will tell you, I spoke to somebody inside the Heat after this happened, and I'm still not being corrected. So,
fair to say they're good at playing this game?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be, man. Like, this is the game. Like, it's a leverage play. Like, you have to get it out to the people who are going to get out to most sources. And the reality is, as much as I would like us to be the number one outlet in town, and I believe we will be, right now, we don't have the name that some of these other places have. And so they're going to be able to get it out to the mainstream quicker. What's changed is that on Twitter, People are following us. They're following information. They're not just tweeting stuff out because we're saying it. They're tweeting stuff out because we have a track record here. So that's what's happening. And if we're wrong, I will say we're wrong. Absolutely. But I don't believe that our information about the Heat's interest in James Harden has been wrong. I don't believe that our information about what the Rockets are asking for has been wrong. If it was, I would tell Adam and Greg when they get this information, then I believe this information is wrong. I don't believe it's wrong. Go ahead. No. Adam, Greg, Adam, go ahead. Jump in.
I mean, the one thing also is, okay, all of these reporters are stating that the Heat are not having any more conversations with the Rockets, okay? When was there the report that the Heat and Rockets started having conversations? Did anyone report that?
No, that's what I'm saying about it being contradictory.
None of these
guys. People talked about the Heat ever talking to the Rockets, and
exactly.
Now they're saying they him talking
even,
to the Rockets,
or him even being on their list.
Right?
No, only
skip
that was national. Yeah.
Well, the only thing was Barry saying that the interest was mutual.
Yes, he did say that. That's true.
Right. So other than that, there was no the Heat have started having conversations. There was no piece about that, except for us. We were the only ones to say that. Now, sure, we might be wrong on a few things, but I don't believe that we're very off on anything in this entire situation.
Are you engaging your ego thinking that Riley's issuing statements based on your information, Clutch? Let's get down to business here. I'm joking.
I can either confirm or deny.
It's not. I don't think it's his tweets that they're reacting to. I think it's the aggregation of his tweets. I think we're in a different world now where if anybody with any credibility or is being backed by any outlet with any credibility, that it's going to get aggregated. And sometimes it drives me crazy because they'll aggregate my stuff in a way that is not the way that I presented it, and then throw a headline on it that is not what I meant to say. And so then people are tweeting at me about it. But in this particular case, I don't think the aggregation of Adam's stuff has been incorrect. I think it's just simply been ignored by the national and local folks to such a degree. But today, for whatever reason, whether it was, again, Jimmy being asked about it, okay, or the fact that it got aggregated again by a couple of those things, that it got into that space, or that we are 2 days from the season, and we're doing a season preview pod tomorrow, okay? And, you don't want, you're talking about half the team. And so let's get to the information part, okay? Because I know that's what they don't want to hear. And we're not bitching. I'm not bitching. I promise you. I understand why what happened today, okay? I don't need a phone call from anyone. I get it, okay? But what I'm saying, Adam, is okay, Houston is asking for basically the whole damn team instead of Jimmy and Bam, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're asking it 24 to 48 hours before the season starts. So they're basically asking you to play a playoff rotation for the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah. From what I've been told, they want Precious to be in the deal. And for him to be in the deal, it's going to have to be after Christmas. So that would mean that Miami would have to go agree to a deal in principle and then kind of end up with 2 games with a skeleton crew. So that's like just one kind of an admin or operational aspect of this. But the other thing I've heard is that Duncan is not being put in a deal. Miami is holding firm there. And it from day one, when these discussions started, it was Hero or Duncan, take your pick. Obviously everyone knows that the Rockets were going to lean Hero in that way, but they've stood firm to no Duncan. So right now, one is more of a clerical perspective with Achua and when he can be traded, and Duncan is just a hard line that they don't want to include him. So those are the 2 sticking points that I've heard right now from an offer perspective. Is just too much when Houston is literally asking for everything.
And they're asking for everything when it doesn't appear that they have the leverage to ask for it. That's the whole point, right? What is the offer that they're getting that is so good that Miami has to basically throw every young piece, every shooter on the table? So why would you not hold out? And again, in that context, and I saw that come across about Tobin's. Brendan's great to us. Brendan's been great to us from the beginning. So, and again, this is not a pissing match against other reporters. It's just, yes, there have been certain acknowledged it. But I guess my thing is, of course you put out a statement like that today. Like, why would you not?
Yeah.
Like, you have to reassure your team. Okay,
That's number one.
that's number one, and secondarily, you have to basically make it clear to other teams and to Houston that like you're not emptying the clip here and giving up every damn thing on your roster from a finals team for even if you're talking about a league MVP. Like, why would you do that? And this is look. They're so good at this that they managed to basically get Jimmy Butler for Josh Richardson, okay? Like on the 5th try.
Yeah, you just can't send 7 for 1 or 6 for 2. Like those kind of deals are not easy to bring together. It requires probably multiple teams, as Adam and you have alluded to. So it's like there's a lot of moving parts to it, but ultimately, like that's it. I think they're kind of declaring we have to figure out something now because the season's about to start.
I want to I want Adam to continue here on the story, but I want to let this is your show, Adam. So Royal, it's your show too. Royal and Alex, you guys want to get in on this before?
Oh yeah, by all means. And I'm the least qualified person here. My sources are from fucking Facebook.
Hard disagree.
So
I'm the least qualified person here. All right.
No, bro, you at least go to games. I watch games on TV. So for me, it looked like Pat Riley drew his line in the sand. And it's just kind of like, that's what it is. Like, this is what you get. If you don't want it, look somewhere else. If you do want it, we're here. It doesn't mean that there isn't, anything going on. It just means there's nothing else going on for now. That's just from the outside looking in. I mean, of course, I don't have as much knowledge as you guys do, but when it comes to just looking at how this team is operated, it's not that. I know Greg was talking about there's one executive in there. It's Pat. Like, he's the one.
For sure.
It's Pat. He's the one who wants to get this deal done. And so when he made the offer, it's like, this is our offer, take it or leave it. And right now, the Rockets are trying to look around to see what else that they can find in the area. And so that's all it feels like to me.
You know the dumbest phrase here, and I know you've used it, Adam, and I don't blame you for using it, but this idea of active discussions. I mean, the reality is a discussion in the NBA is as active as somebody sending someone a text. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, is it an active discussion? I mean, literally, like the Utah Jazz could decide to get involved in this in a minute, and we would say they are having active discussions. Like, the point is, all we've been reporting is this is a player the Heat would want. This is a team James Harden would want to go to. These are the pieces that you might need to give up to get James Harden. This is what the Heat are not willing to give up. That's literally right. Am I missing something? Like from the Heat side, that's literally
what's the point? Like, what is the point of them putting down all their pieces right now? I think that's the thing right now. That's their read on the situation. Is there is no need for them to play their entire hand right now. I mean, knowing that that there's still an offer that they could make out there. Obviously, you would probably have to, like you guys are saying, rope in a third team to really make everything work in a smooth way financially. But they know that there's no reason, time-wise to do this right now, right before the season starts, like Adam has said on Twitter, that, to kind of gut the team right before the season starts is going to be hard to do because, like you said, you can't trade Precious until, Christmas or after Christmas. Right. It's just there's too many things that it like the timeline is too short now to kind of do this trade. And, for all they know, they pull this trade off tomorrow. And I look
right.
Like it's happened before, right? Isn't that what happened with Shaq, like you said? And,
that'd be great for us. That'd be great for us.
There you go. I mean, yeah, it would be. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of parallels to Shaq, though. And to me, they're just holding out for the right time. And, that's clearly what the Sixers are doing. So I don't really understand why, like Adam said before, they're kind of leaking this stuff to the reporters. And it really seems like they're playing the same game that Morey and the Sixers are, as far as not putting all your cards, really trying to get a favorable offer for your team first and playing, because the more time that goes by, the worse it gets for the Rockets. That's the thing.
Oh, absolutely.
They do have the
I
leverage.
think so too. Agreed.
They do, but not as much maybe. And Howard talked about this on the pod. Maybe not as much because there aren't fans in the stands. You don't have the same PR backlash.
Yeah.
You
It doesn't rise up.
Look,
they are on social media.
It's only loud if you open your Twitter app. You just got to keep the app closed.
Right. Well, most of these guys on these teams can't, as we know. But yeah, look, Houston's going to be competitive, and Harden's probably going to play well, even if he's playing at 600 pounds. Like he's going to play well. So sorry, I throw that in.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean,
people are going to go back and get all these takes and record them, and they're going to play them of you, Ethan, when they're winning championships.
He does it on purpose.
It'd be like Escalade from the N1 tournament out there, killing folks out there at 600 pounds.
If Harden was big, like if he was
I
a
remember
5,
Escalade.
he would be really good, man. Like he would be an incredible 5.
I'm telling you, bro.
I mean, they're looking for a 4. Look,
He wouldn't have to move around much on defense. Like it's perfect for him.
What if Spoelstra is the Heat official that has put his foot down and says, "I want James Harden"?
but do you know how many? Here's
Turn
the
James
other
Harden
part.
into Shaq, who can do step backs.
But here's the other problem about this from a attribution standpoint. Do you know how many Heat officials there are? I mean, literally, everybody is a Heat official. Like everybody who goes to that building is a Heat official. Like
Keith Askins, Alonzo Mourning.
I mean, they're all Heat officials in some way. Like everybody from the marketing side to the PR side to they're all Heat officials. There's literally like one official who matters more than all the others, right? Okay, we know that. I mean, other than the guy who pays his checks, but even that guy defers
to him. Yeah.
Okay, so there's one Heat official, and then does Eric Spoelstra want to coach the guy, and is he aligned? But there could be a lot of Heat officials. It's like I've said, not everybody's always been aligned on every decision, but one of the reasons this is such a good organization is that they come out with one voice. They decided to release a statement. Look, I mean, it's not even like I'm giving away information here. Everybody on Twitter immediately, like when 3 or 4 people are tweeting the same thing at exactly the same time. This happens with the Dolphins all the time. It's literally like
Yes.
Cameron Wolf, Joe Shad, Adam
a
Beasley,
coordinated-
Pablo Salguero, Barry Jackson. It's like, okay, I mean,
It was a
It's not
coordinated
subtle.
attack.
Oh yeah, it's on a group text, of course,
I'm about to say they all CC'd on the same email. Like,
or that.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess Ethan probably knows how that goes down. I've never been
Yeah.
included in that kind of stuff.
I'm not in the in crowd anymore, so I don't know. But I
I
would
got
just
like
say
the important people group me or WhatsApp or something.
it's Slack. It's
I think there's another name for that.
Yeah. So anyway, we've given you too much on how the sausage is made today. Okay. All I'm
That's why you're not a name group anymore.
we have our own group chats. I mean, you know, and we all come out with something coordinated. Like, look, we're giving too much on how the sausage is made. The point is this, okay? The Heat are a good organization. They're good at making trades. They're good at sort of keeping stuff quiet. They don't like things to get out for their players. They've been very successful at that for 25 years. But they've also come out of nowhere making moves, getting players that you don't expect them to get. I'm old enough. I know a couple of you guys are not. I'm old enough to remember how the Zoe trade went down, okay, and how that thing played out, okay. You know, how you mentioned how the Shaq trade went down, how the Jamal Mashburn trade went down. I mentioned how the Tim Hardaway trade went down, the Jimmy
Brian
Butler
Grant
trade, which had to be saved 3 times, Brian Grant trade. Okay, I'll finally give this away. You know how I found out about Brian Grant? If Pat's watching this, I broke the Brian Grant story for the Palm Beach Post because I was dealing with an agent who represented Bimbo Coles, and I became friendly with this particular agent. And every year, he was trying to get Bimbo and Scott Burrell back to the Heat. Every year. So he and I would talk about it. Oh, you're going to get him back. And so I texted him. I said, his name was Sean Holly. I said, I don't even think Sean's in the business anymore. So I can tell this is like statute of limitations. This is 2000. I texted Sean, and I said to Sean, I said, what's going on? You going to get Burrell in there? And he goes, no, but they're trading for Brian Grant tonight. And I'm like, oh, really? What's that trade? Oh, it's Gatling's going this way, and Brian Grant's coming this way, and they're signing him to this one and this one and this one. And then I forgot to ask him at the end about Scott Burrell because I didn't give a damn at that point because we had the Brian Grant trade and we splashed it across the front of the Palm Beach Post. This is sort of how this stuff happens. Like, I didn't see Brian Grant coming. Like, we've had Brian Grant on the podcast since, and he said basically, like, I mean, he didn't even consider Miami to be an option. So Some of this stuff just comes out of nowhere. And I guess the one point I want to make, it's not directed at the Heat. It's not directed at the other beat guys. But I've been in this game now from the outside now long enough to know that people can have sources who are not beat writers. It does happen. It does happen, okay? I mean, there's and I trust Adam's information. Like you said, you're not going to be wrong about every step of the process because it's impossible. I'm not. I haven't been. But you were right about the big thing. And the big thing was James Harden was going to want out of Houston if he felt that they were rebuilding.
And I'll say this, the information I've been getting about James Harden in Houston has been coming from the same person this entire time. So it's the same person who's giving me the teams that he's wanted. So it's like, I don't think he's wrong.
Well, you actually know more than you said, but we can't.
The best way to sum this up is that there's different points in the process of an active negotiation, right? Like, isn't that kind of like none of this is a done deal? It's basically trying to
One
Guiding the steps
time
along the way.
when in Charlotte, I asked Andy Ellisberg, are you in any active trade conversations related to Deion Waiters or James Johnson? And he said there's no such thing as active trade conversations. They're either done or they're not done. They're 0% or 100% done.
That's kind of what I just said.
Yeah.
Like this whole idea of active. Okay, so maybe we should stop using that word because I mean, active is a text, but the point is there's interest, right?
Fluid.
There's interest both ways. There's conversations that have taken place and could resume. There's plenty of trades that have happened around the NBA that were dropped for 6 months and come back to.
It's true.
I mean, the Heat have a history of going after players that they've gone after before. I mean,
Jay Crowder.
About Jay Crowder, right? Like,
Yep.
So this is this is more of a sausage conversation, sausage fest than I planned on having here tonight. But I just want to explain it a little bit, like kind of what happened today. It doesn't mean
word to
anything
use here.
wrong, and it doesn't mean our information is wrong. Both things can. The Heat can be operating the way they should operate as a. I didn't even hear what you said. The Heat can be operating as a team should here, and at the same point, we could be correct about the way that we've put. And I will tell you, we know a lot more than we've reported. We had a text string last night, Adam, me, and Greg. I think Alex, you were on there, where it was like, should we go with this? And we all said we can't because of where it came from.
It was the first time where I've used the voice message audio thing that you always send us.
Oh yeah, I'm good at that, right? I love that. You can't talk back to me.
I
I'll
think
never do it. Never.
I think it's funny how everybody think Ethan Ethan thinks anybody listened to anything he said after he called this a sausage fest. Like
I know I haven't.
Right.
I'm still stuck on
By
that.
the look
part.
on your face, I knew you were coming back to that.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
I've never left. Well, I've never left you an audio message. I don't think because aren't you an Android person?
Yeah. Oh, am I Android? Absolutely not.
Oh no, you're not. I could leave you one. I
No.
separate everybody into those two categories.
Apple Watch,
So
brother. I MacBook, iPhone.
Flexing on him.
Yes, indeed. I am not.
Showing
I'm
you
not
the
an Android
tools.
either.
All right. So that's how that. All right. So is there anything of actually? We got 3 minutes left, and I had things to do tonight. Adam, what else can you? Is there anything you can add so that people who came here to be educated about what's going on, like we can add something to this process?
I'm scared to say anything else because people are going to say that I said that this was a done deal.
You never said it was a done deal.
Well, people are messaging me and coming at me like I said it was done.
Text it to me,
Just
Adam.
block
I'll
You
say
never
it
said
for
anything
you.
remotely close to that.
I know. I mean, look, it is what it is. Oh, and the other thing, we're not saying that the Heat reporters, the beat reporters are wrong. Like, they're 100% right. Whatever they're saying, that's what's happening, right? It's not us against them.
No.
What they're saying is right. It's just, it's not as, cut and dry as they're saying. That's all.
Why did Royal just treat Are You Android like Are You QAnon? That's fine.
It's the same thing.
Right? I saw that too.
It's the same thing, bro. Like
He had a very intense judgment moment right there.
He did. I don't blame him. All right. So yeah, again, A, we're not against the beat writers. B, we're not against the Heat. C, I understand why the Heat did what they did today, if indeed they did it, although it would be odd if every beat guy got the same thing at exactly the same time.
You think?
And other than that, there are quote unquote active negotiations because everybody still has phones. And so it can be picked up at any time. But the one thing I think we can speak to directly is the Houston Rockets are asking for a shitload of stuff for James Harden. And it does not appear at the moment that they're in a position to get all of that stuff from any of the teams that are involved.
Ethan, you know my feelings. I would still do it.
This is not an opinion program. This is supposed to be an education.
It's his show.
You know what? I think it's time for you to go. You, whoever's leaving, it's now my show. I'm taking back.
He just told you what kind of show you have, Adam. What?
This is not an
Not going to hold
I
those
didn't come
guys
here
out
for
through
that.
Christmas.
I didn't come here for that.
They won't do
You
it.
know my feelings on.
He's trying to Kanye Wayne your
this.
show.
Adam, I'll say this: if they're asking for Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, Precious Achua, Kelly Olynyk, Iguodala, Duncan Robinson, and KZ Okpala and picks, I say fuck no, go away. Okay, that's what I
And
say.
pick swaps. And pick swaps.
Okay, and we're unprotecting picks from some other team or whatever. I'm like,
And you
no.
hold out all your players, like you hold out all these guys until you can consummate the deal after Christmas.
Right.
I don't think I'm crazy. I'm still doing it. I really don't. Like,
See,
bring
this
in
is where
Rio
you cross
Italy in?
over
I mean,
from
who are you
sourced
bringing in?
intel to this is his opinion.
Okay.
oh yeah. Okay, this is my
Adam.
opinion. First off, this is not okay.
Yeah,
Clearly,
Please clarify
the
that.
Clearly, the Heat don't feel the same way as me. But
No, they
Adam,
don't.
how about this? Would you be playing the game
No,
obviously
in the
I'm
same
telling
way?
you, Duncan and Precious are not in the offer right now.
Right.
They're not.
Correct. That's the first bit of information we've actually provided tonight. Right. We all know that. Duncan and Precious are not in it. But the Precious thing is a little different because, again, that's a little bit of a timing issue. Like, I don't know
Correct.
that would always be the case
I think
instead of
I think
KD.
they'd rather they would rather it be that they kept KZ and sent Precious over there. It's just timing.
Right. So, and the Duncan Hero thing, I mean, was it somebody else who reported they won't include both, which we've kind of been saying all along? It's one or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
And Hero is the headline piece. So, I mean, nothing happened today that is anybody disputing like what the offers have been?
no,
Yeah.
they're just disputing. It's just the fact that I tweeted that the Heat are still pursuing the Rockets, James Harden, and then 45 minutes later, Barry and all of them said the Heat are not pursuing James Harden.
Hey man, maybe some of them young players have the dirty pants.
You got a hypothesis going there, huh?
I mean,
Adam, how about this? Can I ask you a question? If you were in the Heat's position, right, would you have played the game the same way as far as the timeline goes, as far as the way they're playing it right now, where they're like, okay, we're going to hold off on Duncan and Precious, like you guys said, and running it this way? Or would you just play all the cards right now and just do it?
No, I would say you're getting Tyler and you're getting Kelly and Andre. That's all you're getting. And then
So you agree with them?
I agree with what they're doing, but
Okay,
when
there you go.
push comes to shove and Houston calls and says, hey, we got this other offer on the line, beat it, and I'll do it. I'll beat that offer. But
what is that?
Isn't that
That's
kinda
my
what this
question
is?
for you. What is that? What is that offer? Simmons and picks?
that offer is whatever they're about to accept.
Okay.
And I'll
I mean,
one up it.
But what are the Nets offering? That's what Howard was on with us yesterday, and he's as plugged into the Nets as anybody in terms of the national.
Yeah.
League. He lives in Brooklyn, okay, and he basically said, and he's there all the time, and he basically said to us, like, and I trust Howard's reporting implicitly. I worked with him for 2 years, okay, and we had these same kind of conversations. Although for some reason, when Howard and I reported stuff, it was okay. But when I'm reporting something with somebody who put Clutch on his screen, it's not. So maybe if you went by Adam instead of Clutch, that would be helpful. So people would stop saying that you're basically in your basement. Okay, maybe
You saw that too? You saw that too?
I see everything. You don't understand.
Yeah.
I see everything.
Just switch it to your first and last name. Do it.
That's just change it. I'll even pronounce it correctly. But nobody questioned my reporting when I was reporting with Howard, when I was as plugged in on LeBron as anybody, and he was as plugged in on the New York situations and all that stuff. Like, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you have tropical blankets and lefty leifs. Like
yeah,
that's
I
not
got you to
insane.
change your handle at least. Like,
That's
think of like how much you've grown since you changed your damn handle while fucking tropical blanket above you.
What?
Well, I had you changed. I mean, you changed it for a
Look,
day.
I thought I was a real candidate for most
I
improved
can't.
player last season, but
You were. You lost it to Ingram.
I can't
You
lose
are.
the brand. Look at it. Clutch.
It's.
you got to have a
The
focus
whole
group.
show is called Clutch Corner.
I
Respect the
understand.
brand, Ethan.
It's like,
Respect the brand.
I'm going into a battle with a knife to a gunfight. Like it's me and Clutch, and they're like, who?
Versus Shams and Barry.
And I never
Right.
claim to have information, so I'm out of
Shams
this.
and Buzz. Yeah, I can't. What am I going to do with that? So, and now everybody's pitting me against Ira. I didn't say anything negative about Ira or anybody else. I don't know what anybody's talking about. Like I didn't say anything negative about anybody. My problem is with the national guys who just ignore our shit. Okay, like, I mean, you know who they are. It's not with the locals. It's with the national guys who just ignore our shit. And then all of a sudden, they'll come back and say, like you said, like, there's no other negotiations. But you, like, literally, you said at the front, you never said there was negotiations. So you just basically pilfered our reporting. And then all of a sudden, you're saying it's not happening anymore. According to you, it never happened.
Yeah.
The Hanukkah fairy never arrived here. It's just the gifts just appear. I don't.
Hey, I gave you Clutch Adam. I changed it to Adam at least.
Yeah, no. But
That's true.
close.
All right, we'll think about it. I'll think.
People still investigating you?
Yes.
Okay, is there a good way we can sum up where all the talks are right now?
No.
because I think people are kind of waiting for that a little bit. It seems like we've been going on and on about the infighting a little bit.
Oh, can I do it then? We're
Go
in the
ahead.
same place we were yesterday.
No,
No.
Yes, bro.
no, we're not.
Yes, we are, bro. Yes, we are.
No,
Bro.
we're not. We're at the
Well-
point. We're at the point where the Rockets have to come back with a improved offer that they would accept from the Heat, and that's it. Like we're at that point.
Yeah.
Pat has given.
I
his
think
bid.
I think they have to accept the offer based on what Pat is willing to give, and if not, he'll walk away the way he did with the Jimmy deal. I mean, wasn't Bam included in that Jimmy offer?
No.
What was that final package? I can't recall now with Minnesota.
Tibbs wanted Bam. My understanding was Bam was never included. No. No, I have that from people directly involved.
The only one I remember from the Jimmy stuff was the package that had Josh, a first round pick, and I want to say Kelly. Yeah.
Which actually,
Okay, that's
you
right.
know what's funny about that? To give you credit, Ms. Most Improved Tropical Blanket, you actually pegged that exact offer.
Oh, that's right.
That's right in your piece, that you wrote. Yeah,
on the piece you wrote about how they could get Jimmy. That was actually, I remember that. You said that was the most likely scenario before anybody else did. Again, like we're not
Because of that, they ended up getting it for less. They didn't have to give up Kelly in that trade. I mean, they had to give up Hassan, but they gave up Josh in the first without having to give up
Did you
Kelly
say
there.
give up Hassan?
Right. And they managed to do that.
They gave up a first round pick along with Hassan and Mo Harkless.
Gave away Hassan.
Right. They managed
I would
to
imagine
Mark Cuban was hard of hearing. They still managed to figure that out, right?
I would imagine these teams regroup tomorrow, see if they can make anything materialize last second, and if not, then it's like it's an ongoing thing. But I feel like tomorrow is the last day that they can really marinate on this. Clutch, you are shaking your head.
I just can't see how all the beat reporters said one thing and then tomorrow, like you said it before, and then tomorrow they trade for James. I think it'll be at minimum a week, right? Where we'll get a piece from Barry or Woj or something saying, "Oh, talks have been reignited," something like that.
Yeah. That would be egg on their face if they traded for James Harden tomorrow after all the beat writers had just plugged that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but isn't the same true for Philly though?
Exactly. That's why I said that
sorry,
the
am I
Heat were
breaking
in
up
great
again?
position. Can you hear me?
Right.
Yeah. So
I hear you. I'm
since
breaking
Daryl Morey,
That's it.
it's the same exact thing.
This connection issues. I don't know if it's Ethan or Leif or both.
It's Ethan. It has to be.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's
Everything is always
it's
Ethan.
me. I can't seem to get this. Speaking of iPhones, bro, I can't seem to get this iPhone update. I can't. Apparently, there's a legitimate StreamYard problem, and I can't get the update. All right, so
I have my people call your people.
Have them call my people on an iPhone. I don't want. I don't even want to check my text after this. I'm going out. We're gonna post the Eric Reed pod right tonight. There's good stuff. Nothing about James Harden. We talked about other players for this season. It's good stuff. Check out the Howard Beck pod. And we'll do a season preview tomorrow as the team currently is. So just making it clear. I trust Adam's information. I trust Greg's information. I trust my information. We're not at war with anybody. I know how the game is played. And
I don't
that's how
tweet
this is.
anything. I don't tweet anything unless I have at least one of you or Greg agreeing and confirming it.
Right. That's how we're operating. So if we're wrong, we'll say we're wrong. But I have not to this point had anybody come out and tell me I'm wrong. And that has happened over the past 25 years. I can tell you it has happened. Okay. More times than I'd like to admit. You're wrong. You're going the wrong direction. We're trying to save you. No, you're getting bad information. It happens. You trust people and sometimes you trust the wrong people. That has not happened over the past month. Okay. And a lot of this reporting has not been originated by me. It's been me confirming it in places or getting secondary sources. Most of it has been originated from Adam or Greg, but I trust the information. So, I mean, even from a guy named Clutch. That's it. That's my night.
All right, get out.
We love everybody.
So get off the steering wheel.
Did a great
All
job
right.
hosting.
Yeah,
You're driving the car into a ditch.
hosting my own show. That was the Ethan Skolnick show. That wasn't Clutch Corner.
Yeah, that was
Welcome to
5 on the
Clutch Corner.
floor.
Yeah, so this is Clutch Corner now. It's just three youngish guys.
Yeah, I think I'm older than both of you.
Yeah, you are. So we have a comment that says, "Can you show your poster that you have, Alex, of Russell Westbrook?"
This Russell Westbrook poster.
I don't think you want to do that. This dude may or may not have inside info, and I don't think that's something that you want to zoom into. I'm just gonna say that post has been there a long time. So,
Really?
no. Yeah. This is Clutch Corner, dude. Let's talk about you.
All right. No. Well, one other thing I have to mention. We just had a trade 2 weeks ago where the Wizards and Rockets were talking about a Russell Westbrook trade, and that broke down 2 weeks ago. And Russ's camp made sure to make that trade go through, right? So these trade talks can stop. I'm reading the comments. These trade talks can stop and stall and then come back to life again. So I don't think this is over. I mean, obviously,
would you say that that's what happened along the way with Brooklyn? Like you said about a month ago, when some of those reports were coming out, that there was almost a done deal going on there, and then again with Philly last week, and now with the Heat again, and they're all kind of have gone through similar parts of the trade talks.
With
where
Brooklyn,
they end up just kind of plateauing.
With Brooklyn, that was a different situation entirely. I think some of that was true about there being some sort of deal between the Rockets and the Nets. But the Sixers thing, it's just like it's the same exact thing as what the Heat did tonight, where Shams said that Ben Simmons was put on the table, and then an hour later, Daryl Morey said, we're not trading Ben Simmons. It's the same exact thing that the Heat did. So, and people don't trust Daryl Morey. People still think he's going to end up in Philly. So what's the difference here?
People draw parallels to what he did in Houston with Chris Paul, because he supposedly said that and then ended up trading Chris Paul not long afterwards, which was
no, he didn't supposedly say it. He commented on an Instagram post saying
that's what it was. Yeah,
we're not trading him.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, I'm just reading the comments, but I want to give a shout out to that Miami Heat Source Destination. That's the Facebook group that Ethan found me on. I don't know how they have a YouTube account. Second, somebody asked me what my superpower was. Oh yeah, that's exactly it. I try not to curse around Ethan. I don't know what the fuck for, but I just try not to. But if somebody asked me what was my superpower today, I tried to mind control my wife into buying me a PS5. That's what I was doing all day, trying to use my telepathy. Do y'all get the black people supposed to get superpowers joke from today?
Joke?
Well, it wasn't a joke.
It's like an inside Twitter thing.
Yeah.
Where do you think these YouTube comments are coming from? Not Twitter.
Black Twitter.
Aren't they all coming from YouTube? I see a little YouTube logo here.
Yeah, but they're all coming from Twitter.
In the Twitterverse.
Yeah.
All right.
And Facebook, because I'm here, bro.
Well, are we going to talk about the Harden trade, or are we going to?
Yeah, well, let's talk more about it. Okay, so this is all opinion based after the Ethan show ended. All right, this is all opinion. So whatever I say, whatever Royal says, and obviously whatever Alex says is all an opinion.
Obviously. It's always my opinion. But what happened to our intro? We never got to that.
That's what all right, in the beginning, that's what threw me off. I was like, all right, where's the intro? And I saw on the top of the screen that we were live, and I was like, oh, okay. So I was a little thrown off, but I guess we don't get to see the intro.
Do you have it?
No, don't play it. Don't play it now.
Why not? We just started the Clutch Corner. We just got finished with.
It's 30. You know what? That's true. That's true.
You know, this is not my. Actually, I found it. This is not my avenue, but I found it. We can play this. We can do this right now. Get you right back in your rhythm. Because
let's do it, bro.
If we're gonna keep this going.
Yeah, we'll keep it going. All right. Go ahead.
Let me see if I can do this. It seems pretty easy. All right. All right, that's enough.
You didn't even get to the voiceover. We have a great voiceover by Ricky J. Mark.
It is amazing, bro.
Just another 10 seconds.
You just completely. I bet you Ricky's watching this right now, excited, waiting for his voiceover to come, and you just.
Shout out to Ricky for the voiceover, man.
I apologize, Ricky. I was getting anxious watching that. So I was you give you control of the show, man.
I don't know why why do you have control of the show?
Listen, another audible is being run here. My man Alejandro has an actual media job that he has to tend to, whereas I don't. So I'm over here playing backup. But usually Manny or Alejandro is manning that part. You're just lucky. I mean, you should be grateful I found the video in the first place. I mean, we could play it again and wait another 30 seconds. It's up to you.
No, we're good.
I mean, this has been more of an Ethan show than a you show, anyways. That's why I'm trying to lob it to you, trying to set you up a little bit. But
somebody just called us the bootleg Alf, Ethan, and Greg.
That's exactly what this is.
It's accurate.
No, but the old man's gone. This is the youth, right? It's the youth that's not been poisoned by Ethan's propaganda.
Now, speak for yourself.
Wait, so you're in the not trade everybody camp, Alex?
Oh, that no. I'm not.
Yeah, you're with us. You're with us.
You're with us then, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you with what you said earlier in the show, Adam. That like I would be probably playing it the same way. I don't think it makes sense considering, their leverage with Harden to kind of put all your pieces down right now, and that's kind of what it comes down to. And like I said before, I think it's really easy to say and easy to look at the situation and be like, well, the more time that passes, the more uncomfortable it's going to get for Houston. And they famously, notoriously said they're willing to get uncomfortable with this whole situation, and so it's going to, because Harden's going to keep having to do these media availabilities, these press conferences, where he has his arms out over the table saying no comment to everybody, and it's just this obvious uncomfortable situation. And if they're not winning, it's going to get really uncomfortable, right? Like I think it's easy to shut things out if they start out the season and they're just a playoff contender for the whole year. But if they're just kind of hovering around 500, barely above 500, I think it's going to become weird. And who knows? Maybe by that time the Heat will be able to get that offer that they put on the table and get something like that done without having to include Duncan Robinson. And I think maybe that's the W that they're holding out for. And to me, it sounds like they're holding out for the last second. Again, I don't have information, but that's kind of what it sounds like.
I held it in. I didn't want to interrupt you, but can you put up Ben's comment?
Well, it's tough for me to do that while I'm talking, but there you go. At your request.
People, please just give me everything you got on Ethan. I want to see all the comments.
Ben is constantly dropping gems in the chat, man. Every live. Just the goal of the YouTube commenters for now.
What is it? Let the young core shine. That's right. And then there was one that was like Alf left to go report to the G League.
Bro, I have caught enough DMs about that. I got enough DMs about Alf. Bro, I have tried to steer clear of any type of conversation about that whatsoever.
Didn't someone say they thought your middle name was Alf and that you were Alf?
No, well, a lot of people thought I was Alf. That's why I got the name.
You need to change your display name to Royal Alf Shepherd as a bit.
Yo, I actually like that idea. That's what the A stands for, everybody. The A stands for Alf. From now on, that's what I'm going to appear on here as, Royal Alf Shepherd.
I like it. Well, that's the perfect.
Okay, Adam. To get back into the lane, what do you think about what I said earlier? My read on the situation. Are you
Alex, what lane do you think this is over here, bro?
I'll be honest with you. I was laughing.
Is this not what the people want?
What, to talk about Harden some more?
All right. So James, look, there's a lot of free agents out there. I think that if you trade the whole roster, I think you can replenish with Rondé Hollis Jefferson, Shabazz Napier, Frank Kaminsky. Like, these aren't sexy names, but you still have Avery Bradley, Mo Harkless, Goran Dragic, Myers Leonard. You still have a roster. So I think it's still worth doing, right? Just giving up everybody, because a lot of these guys are still unknowns. That's not racist. That's just
bro, I'm patient, bro, and I'm not, bro. Oh my god.
It's all right. I think you just got to embrace it.
This
I
business gets
have,
too far
bro.
soon.
Well, I called myself Groupon Alpha.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. You did start it.
I wholeheartedly like. I have no animosity towards that, bro. I embrace that shit.
Listen, man, you need to give yourself more credit. You wrote for newspapers, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to write for the Augusta Chronicle and the Tallahassee Democrat.
Oh,
That's
come on,
more
bro. You're more qualified than Alf, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
about to say.
Listen, I never take any shots at myself. I don't take myself too seriously. But oh yeah, I can do what you guys do. I just I like this. Not fair.
What is
It's
it?
true.
What is it? Do we do? I had a comment that said, "Adam, you're a fake reporter. That's what, that's what you are." And I'm like, I'm not even a reporter. What do you?
Look, it feels like we've been playing defense throughout this entire show, and
Oh no,
Man,
no,
I
we're
don't-
playing
I don't-
offense on Ethan.
Oh,
playing offense on Ethan. But that was after the defense from all the fans and commenters coming at you, which by the way is completely unfair, because I think to me it comes down to this: like if I wasn't in on this, if I didn't know you and Leif, if I was just a fan of 5 Reasons, normally to me it would be like, well, if you already trust Ethan and Leif or Greg, and they're constantly
Gregory.
co-signing you, then that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to, and that's it for me. And to me, that should have been cleared up right away.
I
But-
still don't know what I said that was wrong though. Like, I haven't
I just
said
think-
anything wrong. It's
I
just
just
the
think
timing.
the hype machine builds over Twitter, man. You like seeing fans like seeing the tweets of their team involved, and it's an ongoing process. I think people just want the instant gratification. I don't blame them. Look, we all want this
Feels
trade. As
good.
far as everybody in the show, we want this trade to go down. It will be awesome for 5 Reasons. Like there's no, there's
yeah.
no doubting that. That's as obvious as it gets.
Can you imagine the Wade versus Harden conversations that will be had by the new Harden stands that become Heat fans?
Oh man, I don't want that. I don't want that.
I'm
Look, that's
down
gonna
with
sour the
I'm here
fans.
for the infighting, bro. I like infighting.
That's what the clutch corner's for.
Oh, somebody
feel
just,
like-
asked, wait, is this y'all job? I wish. Hell no, though. This don't pay no bills over here.
No, I'm still waiting on the donations from the live shows. All the
You
ones that
right.
had me and Adam and Royal's names on there.
You right. No, Adam told me to get off the live stream because the donations stopped when I got on there, and then when I left, people started donating again.
We have a very racist commenting group.
Well, don't alienate all the fans. Jesus, call them all racist.
We could put it to a test, but Royal's the co-host. I don't think
Is
we
the
can do
test?
that.
Would you trade Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson for James Harden? Is that the test?
Yeah.
I'll say no.
Don't worry, Mike called me racist on the other show because he said I had something against all the white players on the Heat. I was like, not all of them.
You
I
know
do
what?
think it's fair though, man. I think holding out for Duncan is fair. I think just
Yes.
it would be an incredible component to add to that big 3. And by the way, it's a big 3, right? Like I get that they're not Ron, Wade, Bosh, but Harden, Bam, and Jimmy is a big 3. Hey, if you got ESPN ranking them at 13, guess what? You got 3 top 15 players there, right? That's a big 3 in my eyes. Then you got Goran, you got Duncan Robinson, you got whatever else you can get that frankly doesn't even matter at that point. Good luck.
I just don't think it matters when you have those 3 guys.
True.
You could put Ethan J. Skolnick out there, and it won't make a difference. They'll still win a ring.
I don't know. Somebody said earlier that Ethan was clogging the paint. I believe him.
It was for the first 30 minutes.
It really is an awful lot to give up, though, especially if you're talking about Duncan, you're talking about KZ and Precious, you're talking about 2 first-round picks at least, and you're talking about multiple pick swaps. That is a ginormous haul. No, I get it.
Draft? Like,
I'm just saying I get why they're not, putting all that in right now, and it makes sense to drag down the price as much as you can, drag this into the season. We saw them do a similar kind of thing with the Jimmy stuff when it happened with Minnesota. I honestly, like, the more I've thought about it, I could be just off that copium, just trying to cope with the news, but it really does just seem like
Alex.
they're waiting for the right time. Like, why are you going to give them 100% of their offer right now? Like, that's not good
I get it.
negotiation, man.
That's exactly right. And I think, look, if the draft compensation is not what's going to stop this deal. That's going to happen regardless, right? Because
But the
we
draft
saw
compensation, the swaps, and all the young guys. That's the thing. They're asking for literally
Duncan.
everything.
I think Duncan is
Okay.
the only thing that's stopping this deal.
Okay, let's think about this though. Okay, what are all these young guys that we're talking about? Okay,
I'm just
It's
saying,
two guys
you're giving them
that they picked
Duncan
up.
and the young guys and the picks and the pick swaps. So I
Alex.
just don't think it would be wise to defer to
Alex.
them right away. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to this. So we're talking about guys that haven't been on this roster for more than 2 years. One is the 13th pick in the draft. One was picked 31st. 2 were undrafted, right? And they came off the streets. Those are the guys that are in a James Harden deal. Are you really like? Is this really?
And that's why ultimately I've said this whole time I lean yes. I lean yes into saying this, and you know, go for Harden. I just think it's wise for them, given what's going on with Houston and their situation, that it's obvious that the more that this plays out, I mean, look, it's a risky situation, right? Like it might not work out.
It could happen tomorrow with Atlanta.
It could happen with another team, yeah, of course. And I think clearly they're willing to play that, like, and maybe that's where me and you disagree with them, and I defer to them at that point, just being like, I get why they're holding off on every single thing. You know, they proved me wrong on every single thing in the past few years.
Are you looking at these comments?
No, man, I'm over here talking.
Look at Ariel. I don't know how you say your last name. Atias. Put that comment up there.
What, Ethan's dentures?
And then the one right after it.
We're towing the line on ageism right now. Once Ethan hits 50, it officially becomes ageism. I think that's the rule. I got to look up the ageism.
Ethan won't waive his no trade clause. Team cancer. Yeah, you know what? That's true. Ethan was like, he seems like the guy that was always picked last in like elementary school when he was playing kickball. That's just him.
I can't laugh much, man. I was probably like third to last. What about you, Adam? What about you, Royal?
Oh, I had a strong leg. I was always first.
In kickball, I could run, so I was like second.
No, anything outside basketball, I was near the bottom for sure.
You're also
basketball, I'm at the bottom.
What?
Like, in terms of being able to hoop, I can't hoop for shit, bro. Like, that's out. I just like watching the game, bro, but I can't play worth the damn, bro. I can't.
I look like the guy picked last now, but
back in your prime.
Back in my prime.
I played football though, bro. Alex was the worst at soccer.
Confirmed.
I think that's racist.
No. That's confirmed.
No,
that's an inside source. That's a good source right there. It's my boy.
Why did they choose you to be the soccer player, Alex?
Because he knows me. He knows I'm terrible at soccer.
Oh.
Make a damn fool of myself playing goalie out there. Jesus, man.
Ethan can't get free pancakes at IHOP, so you can call him old as hell if you want.
Nah, Ethan eats breakfast at Wendy's.
Hold on. Julian,
what is this show turning into, man? I keep trying to get us back into the lane. It's not working out.
No. It's my show. We'll get back in the heart of what I want us to. Julian Ramos says Ethan about to fire all of you guys if you don't stop. Fire us from what?
Hey, Ethan's not gonna. Yeah.
Good question. Pay me first. Roy,
I'll get fired off the credentials, man. I gotta be careful.
Oh,
That's why
you gotta be careful. We're not trashing on the Heat. We're trashing on Ethan. All right, fine. We'll go back to Harden. Okay.
Because that's what people want to talk about all the time. We've been talking about it for like a month.
What else is there to say? Yeah.
I'm about to say, what more can you juice out of this conversation? I mean, now the Heat are out.
No,
that's not what Adam said. That's not what I said. I'm not a reporter. I made that perfectly clear earlier. Like
you're the reason I get death threats.
But you've been on this show for an hour. That's not what Adam said.
I don't care, bro. Like it is like at the end of the day, bro. It's like y'all said. The deal is either done or it's not. Like that's where I am, bro. And right now it's not. So I don't care what comes out in between that and the deal getting out.
I'm just reading the comments.
Roy is Roy Hibbert. He can play well enough.
Roy Hibbert almost cut off LeBron's championship chances with the Heat, man. We were real close set.
Could you imagine if
I was
he did
nervous.
that?
I was nervous going into that game 7, man. I don't know about you guys.
Against Roy Hibbert?
Against the Pacers in 2013?
Oh, absolutely.
I was nervous.
Was playing out of his mind.
Nervous confidence. Yeah, Roy Hibbert was looking like, I don't even know, like a prime Theo Radley.
Mutombo out there. We could not get to the rim for shit, bro. He was blocking everything. But
okay, actually, we should talk about this because what I had planned for tomorrow is to talk about what are the other options outside of Harden. So okay, let's talk about that. So if
some of the comments has been going in on that already.
Yeah, so if the Harden thing doesn't happen, I think there's a big hole at the 4 spot. If KZ Okpala, if what we saw from him last week is like true, and he shot 6 for 10 from three, I think it was something like that. If that's really what he is now, then they don't have a hole at the 4. They're fine.
Right.
But I personally think Casey should start, but I don't think he's there yet. And I don't think Spo intends to start him at the 4 right away. I still think that's Mo Harkless's job.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. Maybe in middle
I don't think
of
he's
the
going to
season.
change that off of 2 preseason games. Like Harkless has been in that same exact role on multiple playoff teams, right? Like I think he's going to give him a little bit of a chance first.
Remember what we saw from game 1, and people were like, "Oh, that's not much. You can't take away much from that." Well, same thing for preseason game number 2. You can't take that much from it. I mean, it's great. You saw the ball go through the hoop, but like,
Harkless and Bradley we're here to be clean system fits into a team that runs around Jimmy, Bam, and then Duncan, Tyler, and Hero, etc. Right. But they were brought in to be the supplementary components to Jimmy and Bam and what they create for the shooters. Jimmy has not played. He's the biggest component of their offenses. Somebody needs to be attacking the rim in order to create the open threes, and he's gotten some open threes he's missed. I'm not going to defend Mo Harkless whatsoever. He hasn't stayed on the floor. He's fouling like crazy. The 3 has not looked good. To me, in my eyes, he looked a little bit slower than I kind of imagined him. So I think he is a 4, but not a strong enough 4. And if he's not making the 3s and if he can't stay on the floor, that's not a good sign. I think we got to give him a little bit of a chance in the regular season first. He was a starter for Portland for all those years, but I think I lean with you. I think we're going to end up seeing KZ starting, or maybe I think I'm going to be leaning towards KZ starting sooner than later, because at this point, I already trust KZ's shot just by the looks of it. And
I'm excited
has not shown us in the past to be a shooter. Like, he had one nice percentage season, but he's always been a low volume shooter. KZ's more willing to shoot it. He has a dribble. Like, he's already been kind of a better defender than Harkless has as far as the 2 preseason games. So I think I'm going to get with you as far as starting KZ sooner than later.
Every year there's always a lineup that I just can't wait to see, and I'm excited to watch it play. And I think this year it's Hero, Duncan, Jimmy, KZ, and Bam. I think that's the lineup that I think has the highest potential and the highest ceiling, and that could be the closing lineup at times, right? I know we're forgetting Goran, but
yeah, that's also a really young lineup. Like a lot of those Hero, Duncan, and KZ are all still relatively new to the league. So I don't know how much we would trust them or what type of situation we would trust them in. I think it'll be an interesting lineup. I wanted to go off the board with the name that could potentially help us in the 4. How you guys feel about like somebody like Rondae Hollis Jefferson, who just got cut? He has a similar body type to Jay Crowder. He's definitely probably stronger than Mo Harkless is, because it's not so much Mo Harkless' speed so much as how weak he looks against bigger players that bothers me. And I think maybe somebody like Rondae Hollis Jefferson, who is more physical, might be
played in a similar role last year with the Raptors, where a ball in a motion offense. And I mean, I'll give him a shot. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. They don't have the roster spot right now. But and look, I think the other natural point that we get to with this, and I don't think it would happen during the regular season, but to me, I still like Andre Iguodala, man. I know everybody's calling him an old man. To me, if I had to trust a 4 in a closing lineup in the playoffs to guard, like an elite wing, a Kevin Durant, who am I trusting? Andre Iguodala or KZ Okpala? I mean, maybe, from now to
KZ.
Things could change. As of this point right now, I'm trusting Iguodala, man. I'm sorry. Like,
so why not use Iguodala in that starting lineup, kind of like how we use in that Myers role, where he get those first couple of minutes at the 4? And then
I'm not against it, but I know it's not going to happen. I don't even want him really getting a big role in the regular season. Save that man for the playoffs.
Put him away. Yeah, let him go for a few months, and then
KZ's playable. Precious is playable. Myers is playable. Max Strus is playable. Like, he's going to be a shooter. He's going to be a shooter. So like, they have a lot of guys that they can play. They don't need to play Iguodala during the season. He's not going to affect their winning percentage. You know what he can and can't bring you. I don't think he needs really reps in the system that much more. I'm saying, like, rest him for the playoffs. Get KZ and Precious some minutes whenever you can. There's going to be injuries. Stuff may or may not happen with COVID. And I think that's why you got to take advantage of the depth that you have there. And to me, man, like, I think Andre is as good as an option that you have as far as like a cheap veteran role guy to throw in there. And by the way, you don't got to throw Andre on the team's best player. You have Jimmy and Bam, and you can kind of play around with matchups in that way. And that's kind of to me, the whole secret weapon with the Heat is that they can put Bam on your best player. They can put Jimmy on your best player. They can have Bam, playing the back line, kind of erasing all the mistakes if other guys get beat. Like, they really have so many ways, man. And I think Andre is somebody you could throw in there to just be a positive defender. He knows he doesn't get lost on screens and stuff. He's not who he used to be. But you can throw him into a defense with Jimmy and Bam and feel pretty comfortable, I think, especially if you've got two other shooters there like Tyler and Duncan and Goran.
Yeah, to your point, I think one of the things that I like most about Andre Iguodala is that he's never out of position on offense or defense. Like, he's always where he's supposed to be, and he knows just about how much room he has before he can make a play on the ball or something like that. Another name I see keep coming up is John Collins. Clutch, could you kind of give me some clarity on that? I don't understand why they think that he's leaving Atlanta.
Because he didn't sign the contract extension. He's from Miami. He's a power forward. It makes sense. So, and so
does Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball didn't sign his extension either.
Yeah, I know, but that's different.
How come?
Because he sucks.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, would Lonzo Ball not be like a type of point guard that we would look for? He's a good defender. I play
him over Avery Bradley, and I like the Avery Bradley signing. I like Avery Bradley signing, but I would play Lonzo on the Heat.
Kendrick blow by Lonzo the other night.
You said what?
Kendrick Nunn, didn't he blow by Lonzo?
Season, man. Did he score? Did Kendrick Nunn score? I don't remember seeing him score.
It was like the only time he scored. It had to it happened.
Listen, I'm not taking that too much from preseason, man. I don't think Lonzo's a scrub. I don't think he's a some awesome player.
He's not a scrub. Yeah,
I think he's an NBA rotation player for sure.
Yeah, and on the Heat, he's a starter.
I mean, Kendrick Nunn and Myers Leonard were starters for the Heat, so yeah, he fits the level. And look, I'm not trashing that at all. I'm with that, man. I like what Spo does as far as always having good lineups on the floor, man, with the talent spread out, lineups that make sense. But look, Myers and Kendrick Nunn started all season.
Look, I think this team is not complete, and I think this team is perfect. This is the perfect time to consolidate players because you have so many guys who play at the same level. They have the same talent level right now, and you're not going to be able to keep guys like Kendrick and maybe even Duncan. They might get priced out of Duncan, but I think guys like Kendrick, where you're not going to keep past this year, you should trade him and another piece for a starting level player. So if you can get a trade where Kendrick Nunn and Kelly go somewhere else and you pick up a starting power forward, I don't know, like a Nemanja Bjelica, I think that would be a perfect fit.
Taj Gibson.
No.
I like Taj as a backup five idea. If you got to give up some of your bigs in a trade.
He's like a backup five.
Yeah.
He would be like UD's bench buddy. That's what he would be.
He would be Chris Silva.
What happened to Chris Silva?
I don't know, bro. Like Chris Silva, when they first started playing him, he looked decent. He looked exactly like what we needed from that spot.
I wish I had the numbers in front of me, but I remember I want to say it was Christian Hernandez from Miami Heat beat who's always he's always first with the stats there. I think he put Chris Silva's defensive rebound numbers, and they were so low. And the fact the lack of rim protection, he would get lost on screen sometimes. I love the effort, man. I love the physical stuff, but that's not a playoff player, man. That's somebody you keep in your cupboard of young guys, especially if they like him. I trust them, right? I trust them if they'd like them to keep him this long. But too bad there's no Sioux Falls this year. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they coming up to draft Precious. They're replacing class.
I disagree, Alex.
Precious has gotten more minutes than Silva in the preseason for a reason.
I think he's a break glass in case of emergency player. I don't think he's like
that emergency is Precious can't play, and neither can Kelly or Myers.
Emergency is UD had to come in, and then he got a flagrant 2. That's emergency.
I was gonna say I still might have UD in front of the line. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop being mean.
Though, Willie Reed could always come back and take that boy's spot.
Willie Reed.
Look, you know what it looked like?
Seen him in Miami Pro League a few times.
I can say this because I don't really care, and this is Clutch Corner. It looked like he didn't know what's his name. Chris Silva. It looked like Chris Silva didn't know what sport he was playing the last game.
Come on. Oh, come on, man. We're trying to toe the line on being harsh. Jesus.
Just rewatch the game. You'll see what I'm talking
the
about.
line.
We're playing offense now, Alex.
I don't necessarily disagree. I'm just trying to be diplomatic about it.
Y'all do that on 5 on the floor.
Hey, I'm not saying he can't be a good player. No, I'm not. I definitely won't. I just know nobody's watching here. Nobody gives a hell what I got to say regardless. But
that's what I'm saying. That's why you're here.
Exactly.
That's why we put Royal on this one.
The 5 Reasons basement, baby.
I like that. That's good. That's good. That's honestly, if there wasn't a name for this, that would be a good one. The 5 Reasons basement.
You know, Alex, I have a question for you. When you go to the Heat players and you talk to them either in the locker rooms or just on
I remember those days.
Yeah,
the good old days.
You say this is tropical blanket with 5 reasons, or
I don't know, man. I don't introduce myself. I mean, if I talk to somebody one-on-one, which is the rare time this happened, I say my name. I'm not saying my Twitter handle, man. What I look, I'm not that much of a clown.
All right, I was just making sure because I could see you doing it.
No, I mean, like in the what do you call it? Before everything happened with COVID, like Spo would talk after the game in that room, right? And he would be the only person who would consistently talk there because in the playoffs that's when they start putting players on the podium. But in the regular season, once if you have a question, you got to raise your hand. It's very organized. It's not like the scrums in the locker room, which I know you've seen. And so like they'll say my name, they'll say 5 Reasons Sports if I raise my hand, but in the lockers, it's just asking questions and everybody trying to step on each other's toes, which is definitely not my strength. That's more of Ira and Barry Jackson and Tim Reynolds. That's what they do.
Why you didn't include me in the people who've seen locker room scrums?
I was talking about the Heat locker room. I was talking about the Heat locker room specifically.
I'm not that fancy. I did cover Florida State football and basketball though, so that's probably as high up as I got.
Again, I'm trying to big up. I mean, can you big up Mike for you're more credible than Alf, man.
Listen, bro. I'm more credible than a lot of people on this network. I just play the fool, Alex. But we got a few more suggestions for names. We got the 5 Reasons Misfits and 5 Reasons Not to Watch.
I like that one. We might have to keep that one on.
Well,
5 Reasons Not to Watch.
Yeah.
The Tropical Clutch Alf Show. Do you see that comment?
Yeah, I did. I didn't play it for a reason. I think it's a terrible name.
All right. Okay. So as Ethan would say, switching gears now. Let's.
Yeah, as you do more shows, you're gonna get better at grabbing the steering wheel on your show. This one we have been swerving. We've driven in the wrong lane.
Who cares?
We already got stopped. We got a warning, and we're still fucking.
Somebody said,
we played the intro like 40 minutes in.
Somebody said, "Give us the scoop on Jimbo."
You want to try playing the intro again so we can hear the voiceover?
We'll do that at the end. Wait, can you play it like 25 seconds in? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I could try, but I think it just lets me click it. Like it's very, very simple layout here.
It's gonna be the theme song for another 40 minutes.
Oh, by the way, guys, Ethan's on a date.
Shit is long, man.
He's not at the nursing home.
But he's watching?
Who, Ethan?
Is that what you said? I didn't hear what you said.
No, I said Ethan's on a date, not at the nursing home.
Oh no, I know that.
No, I'm telling the commenters because they think he went to the nursing home.
Listen, man, the Ethan slander has been bad. I hope he doesn't watch this. He might fire me for real.
I hope he does watch it. Like I said, what is he going? Oh wait, you actually get some money out of this though, bro.
Keyword is some. Keyword.
No, I mean I do too. I don't. It's just like whatever.
Damn. So I'm the only person.
I'm more about the credential, man.
I'm the only person out here giving my free time to Ethan Skolnick. Don't worry about it.
Credible one. I mean, come on, man.
Don't worry about it. I got his phone number. He will be getting a very sternly worded text message from me.
Look, man, you should take this to HR. This is getting ridiculous. This quote.
Who's HR?
Quota. Probably Ethan. Not Alf. That's for sure. I really hope he doesn't watch this, man.
Did I cover Jameis Winston? Yes, I did cover Jameis Winston. I also covered EJ Manuel. I covered what's the dude name who played for Philly? Nigel Bradham. I wrote the story about his pro day. So yeah,
I mean that is relevant information, man.
Oh yeah, I covered Jalen Ramsey, Dalvin Cook. I was there for all of those guys. So yeah,
pretty recent.
Yeah, I still live in Tallahassee.
Why don't you ever mention that? That's pretty relevant information.
Because that's not what I'm here for, Alex. I'm here to talk about the Heat, and so I do that. So I told
you can't throw in Jameis Winston into the Heat somehow. I
told you this before. Like a lot of people are trying to get on this platform to try and increase their own platform and try and break their way into the game. I'm not here for that. I in no way, shape, fashion, or form am here looking for credibility, fame, or none of that. I do this because it's fun to me. And so that's the only reason why I'm on 5 Reasons Sports, like for free, apparently.
We got an important question here. Were you on the scene for the Cradlibs kidnapping? No comment. You said. I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, I
don't want to get you in trouble.
Go to the comment underneath that one.
What about
Jameis like the NFL version of none?
That's how you tie it into the.
Oh my God, that's not what I meant to get.
Like I was a lit mascot.
These comments are wild, man. This show has really gone off the rails, though, man.
All right, okay. So really quickly, Alex,
Jameis Winston talk.
If you can make a trade right now, not James Harden, for this Heat team, what would it be?
Marcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus. All right. What about you, Roy?
Oladipo was my first thought, but then I thought maybe the price is going to be too high, even if the extension stuff, didn't work out or whatever. I think LaMarcus would probably come at a more reasonable price, just if I had to guess. Obviously, no information on that, but if you could get him for some type of package involved with Kelly, Kendrick Nunn, and maybe some other thing, because it just seems doubtful that they would just accept Kendrick Nunn and Kelly. I would probably be good with it. Obviously, we're not talking about including Duncan there. We're not talking about including Tyler. That's a given. But some type of reasonable package like that, I think would be good. I think LaMarcus would be a good add to this team if you're talking about, especially at that type of price point. And like you said before, it would be a good time to consolidate everything, man. Like I think it would make a lot of sense. I think it's an upgrade. And to me, the key in that, just kind of thinking it through, would be I trust Spo to like make a trade. I mean, sign off on a trade like that without being committed to always playing Aldridge, right? Like if there's a game where he's getting played off the floor, it's a bad matchup. I could see him coming off the bench. He's done it with all of his prominent players in the past, right? And maybe not the one or two, but he obviously isn't that. And so I think LaMarcus gets thrown into that group of guys who could come in and play for you, be an upgrade. But if it's not the matchup for him, we're not going to see him in the fourth quarter. And I think that's important because if you play LaMarcus, you got to play a certain way on defense. You kind of have somebody, I think, who the right kind of guard can pick on a Kyrie Irving or a Kemba Walker, for example. And so I think it's tough, but he would be an upgrade to me for sure. I think he's an upgrade on what they got. He's like in this system would be Myers Leonard on steroids. Like he would give you threes and he could give you somebody who could also create a shot for themselves, right? Especially at the end of a shot clock. And they don't have a lot of that. And I think you saw that in the preseason when they're missing Jimmy and Goran. The shot creation isn't as good. And I would do the LaMarcus trade for sure.
Royal?
Alex just gave a very thorough enough answer for me.
Bro, I'm sorry. I'm too used to doing 5 on the floor, man.
Listen, bro. Listen, no, do your thing, G. Like I agree wholeheartedly because of the fit, because of the price. I guess an alternative one would be like you alluded to, the Oladipo trade. I don't think I would want to do the Oladipo trade without them including Miles Turner, because I think Miles Turner is a lot like he's another person who I think will fit next to Bam really well. And so if we can find a way to get those two, then that'd be cool. I also wanted to talk about this comment. This dude, Jason Joshi, he say, "Hey guys, huge fan here. Any sources on if my ex-girlfriend will come back to me?" Jason, purse sources. She's for the streets, bro. That's all I got for you.
There's a few. There's one guy. His name is show me the Tony Morales comments. All of them. And the one above it. Origami Kingdom.
Hold on, man. This is here we go. So they weren't giving him enough credit.
I think there's another
What
one.
newspaper was around back then? Like, I couldn't even name one. I went to school for this. I can't even name one. Like, was the New York Times around back then? Like, what was it? The Carnegie Times? Like, what?
Go to the bottom one.
It was just called the paper back then, Alex.
The
That's
paper.
all.
You picked up the paper at
covered
the stand.
Spanish flu pandemic.
You do was telling everybody to put their mask on back then.
Okay, so all right, here's the trade I would do. I would do the Nemanja Bjelica trade. I would do that one, okay?
I really hope
Because
he doesn't watch this, man.
I think that Nemanja Bjelica is a much easier guy to acquire using just a trade exception, and then you can use.
I'm sorry, man. That was my fault.
No, it's okay, bro. Hey, bro, just go back like 10 minutes or so, bro. We just had this whole conversation.
Yeah, that's a good thing about this. As soon as it's over, I don't know if you can do it while we're live, but as soon as it's over,
Yeah, bro.
you can rewind.
We can just go back, bro. We
Look at
talked
the
about
last
this
four.
already.
Look at the last 4 comments. 5 comments.
Quill feathers. Like, I had to do that in German school. You had to write with a
Ethan's
quill
first
feather.
source was Dr. James Naismith.
Ethan finds out news through pigeons. Somebody say Ethan was at George Mikan's draft party.
Hold on. Suave guy, you can use the trade exception for PJ Tucker. No, you can't. You can't use it. You can't use it for that.
They're off by like 0.4, right? Like it's like 400K or something like that.
Yeah, I was talking to Alex about this. Blame Pat Riley for not paying James Johnson $400,000 more than what he did, because
Right. The wrong move was to not pay James Johnson more. That's right.
if he had paid James Johnson like $400,000 more, you could have gotten PJ Tucker with that trade exception.
Which
That's
is
a
what we
really
wanted
bad
James
way to
Johnson
frame it, but like it's true.
Porter Vox Jr. I am not getting drunk. I have to drive to another state tomorrow to go be with my family for Christmas. So I'm not
Same.
getting drunk tonight, bro. So I'm good. Y'all
I
getting
gotta
sober.
drive Uber tonight, so I'm definitely not gonna be drinking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Catch me tomorrow though, fam.
You need to ride over. You need to ride to the airport.
Oh,
I got you.
nah, bro. I'm driving, bro. I got kids, bro. I can't pay for them tickets.
Look at real 1, 2, 3. Look at that.
Wow, man, we're coming out with the old Yo Mama jokes and just replacing Yo Mama with Ethan now. That's what we're doing.
Even so old.
Okay, what's the next one? That
but the
Ethan
thing
sat
is-
behind Jesus in 3rd grade.
Right.
But the thing is,
Ethan got Jesus in his yearbook. Or Ethan's social security number is 1.
Yeah,
no, but the thing is, we've got a mix of all these comments about Ethan, and then you got a mix of Alf comments, and then it's like, well, Marcus Aldridge or Blake Griffin, who do you like more?
I was talking about Blake Griffin with somebody on Twitter, and I was like, I mean, if he didn't get paid what $38 million or something like that,
Yeah, good
like,
luck matching
I
that
would
money.
definitely explore the Blake Griffin Bam Adebayo front court, because I think Blake Griffin is another one whose skill set complements him for real.
He can play, man. He can play. He would fit in a motion offense pretty seamlessly, man.
Ethan's knees touch every time he walks.
Look, I can't laugh at that. I'm literally wearing a knee brace right now. So I can't laugh. I'm half his age. But
All right,
Did
okay.
somebody just called me Dion Waiters, bro? You
Hey,
disrespectful.
Champ Cheese got paid and a ring.
Chap Cheese.
Champ Cheese. And now he doesn't even got to play.
All right, so okay, outside of Nemanja Bjelica, I would trade for Zach LaVine. That's my guy.
Who's better at their respective sport, Nunn or Jameis?
Yeah, you've got the inside scoop.
That's not inside scoop. Everybody can watch Jameis throw 1,000 interceptions a season, but no, I mean, I would have to go Nunn right now because at least he plays. The Saints started Taysom Hill over Jameis Winston, and that lets you know all you need to know about his quarterback play. My face is too close. How is my face too close?
No, you already fixed that earlier.
Yeah, like I went to high school with that dude.
Ethan on a date with Queen Elizabeth.
You say Ethan covered Noah's Ark.
This is getting problematic.
No, we've already reached
Wait, no,
that
that's
stage.
Old
It
Testament.
doesn't matter. Like you could. Ethan only gives out IOUs.
Those are facts, bro.
Hold on. That's a little truthful.
Those are facts.
No, that's not true. I don't want to slander Ethan too much.
Yeah,
We got you. That next payment gonna come up missing, Alex.
It
That's
just
what's
came
going
up today, man. That's why I don't want to get too harsh on him.
like a dollar missing for every comment that you put up.
Look, man, now I'm doing the PR. I'm the PR leg right now.
Okay. Ethan covered Jesus' birth.
Ethan covered the ban on reefer. God.
Did I tune into Slander Corner? Yeah, you might.
Are we putting this on YouTube, man? Or
It's already on
It's
YouTube.
already on YouTube. It's live.
yeah, we're gonna have to edit some of this out, like the whole second half.
It's not happening,
You
brother.
mean,
People are
you mean
watching
ever
this
since
as we
Ethan left?
Yeah, exactly.
So when I messaged Ethan saying we're gonna continue after you're done, and when he looks at this YouTube video and it's just over after he left, what are we gonna say?
No, he's just too busy to look at this YouTube video. That's a good thing. Yeah, this is the one that I was thinking of. This Prohibition.
5 reasons Twitter just tweeted like this, like Ethan not getting crushed. I guess he doesn't know. He's just sharing it so people will watch.
Sharing
He's
it,
got
he
better
wants-
things to do.
He's explaining. Oh wait, no, he might be watching.
What, on his date? I doubt it.
No, someone tweeted at him the Ethan slander here with the link, and then Ethan tweeted, "Yep."
But like that's how they frame it. Ethan slander here. That's it. That's all that's going on.
Rachel on Twitter, she says it's killing me, and Ethan said, "Yep." He quote tweeted it.
He's definitely not watching, man. I know he did too well.
Yeah, he just knows he's getting slandered.
Maybe he'll go to the bathroom and tune in for a second just because he gets like insecure about the comments, but that's about it.
No, but like for real, like every time I get on a pod or like one of these streams or something with Ethan, I always say something that makes him extremely uncomfortable, bro. And I be like, bro, I'm just gonna keep pushing the envelope until he just like, bro, you just can't come on no more. Like, I'm sorry. I speak in streams of consciousness.
Someone tell me what this means.
Alex acting like Day from Next Friday with Pinky.
Next Friday. You don't get that?
No, I'm not a movie guy, man. I miss out on almost any big movie you can think of. I've missed out. I'm a TV show guy. That's right. I'm a fucking dweeb.
Someone saying, "Let's get on Royal and Alex now." Is that Ethan?
Oh, come
Ethan,
on.
is that your burner?
That's the same dude who was telling us to talk about Luke Babbitt.
Yeah, Luke Babbitt's burner. Maybe I don't know what's going on here.
Ethan leaked the 10 Commandments.
Everybody's just recycling all the Obama jokes, man.
Hey, bro, they're still funny.
I like it with a spin towards
I mean,
journalism.
all right, to be fair, this was the Ethan show where he talked about Ethan for the first 30 minutes. So, like, it only makes sense we keep talking about him, right?
Yeah, right. In the way that he deserves to be talked about. Ethan's on a date at Applebee's.
Ethan leaked the Constitution.
Ethan reported rumors of there being light when there was nothing. He was on it first before all the others.
Yo,
Yeah.
y'all are on one. Ethan was at Lincoln's assassination. The one right above that, Ethan witnessed the Big Bang.
Man.
Yo, this is funny. This is what the show is going to turn into every time now.
Hold on, no, that's not true. I was there for the pyramid. I'm Egyptian. That's not true. The aliens did that one.
You're Egyptian?
For
real?
I don't know if you were there, but we were when Alf was still part of the crew.
It's fine. I don't even think, by the way, that half of the commenters know that Alf. They just half of the commenters come from YouTube and just click when they see the notification that we're going live. They don't know what's going on.
They wonder where Alf is, but they don't want to be racist because they think it might be royal, but like they don't want to say
We gotta
like, where's
Royal, man. We're gonna
Bro, it's like I don't know if that should still be like a running joke or if I should.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I
we
could put like
did it already.
954 on my thing, like and just leave it there and let people just continue to assume that I'm out.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't even sound alike.
I don't know if Ethan wants that on him, on his character.
Look.
This is me we're talking about.
Comment show at this point.
No, Ethan's not tampering.
Wait, what is Alpha's son?
Oh, man. Come on. Oh, come on. No, you can't do that.
Oh, that one's not even funny, bro.
That's
See, I gotta
kind of racist.
that everybody gets this.
Well, at least me and Alf had the same
gotta stop it
glasses,
now.
so I understood that me and Alf share the same glasses. So I thought that was what it was at first.
Life first started with Ethan and Eve. Oh yeah. By the way, do I change my handle?
To what?
Well, that's the thing. Ethan was like, you gotta get rid of
have your full
Clutch
name
thing.
in there with Clutch somehow, but it feels kind of long at that point, even if you don't have a long name. But I don't know, Clutch Adam Borai maybe. I don't. Look, Ethan got on me for wanting to put my name in my handle, and I did it for like half a day and changed it right back. So I'm not gonna get on you about that for sure.
Ethan.
I've been getting away with it for a year and a half.
No Clutch, don't change your handle. All right, probably not. Since you said it, I won't do it.
Whoever you are.
Harden getting traded. I could do that. I could do that.
Just make it clear for everybody from your handle.
I could do that because I got a lot of threats in my DMs. A lot of threats.
What?
Yeah.
Threats?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bro. This
No,
is serious.
people like-
That's too
people-
serious, man.
There's stuff that I've held back from saying that I could have said, and Alex knows what I'm talking about, that I could have said that would sort of hype this story up a little way too much for people, right? Am I wrong?
I'm sorry. The comment that just came up kind of threw me for a loop, bro. Like, bro, that's so depressing, bro. I'm sorry to hear that if it's true, but what does that have to do with what we're talking about, Jason Chachi? I'm sorry, bro.
I can't, bro. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Bro,
The trolling me wants to play the comments, but I know I shouldn't.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
you
good. It's not
Alex, you endorsed it by putting it up.
yeah. Like now
Sometimes the problem
now
is
with
some of these
everybody else,
comments.
like, dang, bro, how did she die, bro? Like, what happened, bro? Like, I'm concerned now. I want to know the story. How you guys meet? How long were you married? Like,
I'm pretty sure these are baseless claims that are being made here in the comments, man.
Man, listen. I'm sorry, bro. I tend to ask questions, G. And a lot of them too.
Oh,
I mean, you're a better journalist than me, that's for sure.
You've actually interviewed Spo.
Yeah, barely.
Ethan leaked the Louisiana purchase. I like that. That was a good one.
Spo got me shook.
Oh, somebody
That guy
said we
not
should
coming
watch
back.
the Viewer. I'm so.
Man, who?
I mean, listen, bro. I think that's like par for the course at this point. I know some people have gotten offended by watching these streams before, and just
So we lost like 200 people over the last. I mean, we've been going for an hour and a half, so this is way
You
too
can
much already.
see, yeah, wait, you can see who, like, how many people are watching?
he
Yeah.
can see it,
I always assumed it was like 10.
bro. I'm telling you. And then next day, you wake up 7,000 views on the video. Like, bro, that's a lie.
Oh, the views are different from people watching live, but they end up being a little bit higher than I think every time. I mean, look, we've been higher than before, but I'm gonna say this: we are 1 over 420 right now.
Well, what?
We are 1 viewer over 420 right now. Ah, never mind.
Are you serious?
That changed. It took too long to get that. Okay,
Well-
Adam, what are we doing, man? What's
Okay,
going on
so-
right now?
So aside from the James Harden stuff,
I just needed a stall so I could look at more comments.
just keep that one up. We'll keep that up.
That Ethan Loaf. Somebody made a reference to the GP versus Gucci battle.
Ethan broke the news of Greg's birth. That's what it should be.
You a Star Wars guy? Ethan's like Emperor Palpatine, who, have you ever heard the conspiracies that he created Darth Vader, that he doesn't actually have a father? And I think it might be true. But that's just, conspiracy corner here now. Ethan did that with life, I believe. Like, to be the perfect apprentice.
And inserted him into Miami Heat beat as like the beginning.
Yeah, no, Miami Heat was all just a ruse to eventually get, play it long term. He had to play it the right way, just like Chancellor Palpatine did. And by the way, we can relate this back to the Heat stuff. Chancellor Palpatine didn't play his cards right, and that's why. Everything went right to plan because he didn't give up in his world the Duncan Robinsons and the KZs and the Precious.
Alex.
He played the long game. He could have killed Anakin and got that threat out of there. Instead, he recruited him on his side by playing the long game, and that's the theme right there.
Alex, you know how
Alex, what did you think about the Mandalorian? No, fuck that.
Look, man, I don't know if you can tell. I've been in my YouTube bag lately. It's been awesome, man.
Ethan executed Order 66.
That's why Alf's gone.
That was the best one. Order 66 is why Alf is gone. Are you calling Samuel L. Jackson Alf?
Look, that's not racist because that was Alf's AVI for like 4 years. The picture of Samuel Jackson, but it's right there. You're towing the line. You got to be careful. We can't be encouraging this, man. Royal, you got to put the rules down for the commenters.
I have no rules.
Who can and can't make the joke?
Say what you want.
What I'm asking.
Say what bro. Listen, I don't know if I'm in the minority in this situation, but I like being the black guy and listening to some of these black guy jokes. When they border on offensive, I'll be sure to let you guys know. If I'm offended, then I have no problem telling people I'm offended.
You can't give people too much leeway.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna give people the rope to call me all types of N-words and jigaboos and porch monkeys and shit. But like, I mean, people look, bro. I'm sorry. Like I just put it out there. Like
we're putting this on YouTube.
Hey, bro. Hey, I'm sorry. I've heard Alf say the N-word on these streams before, so I've been on the streams when he said it before. So
you went through the Rolodex.
Yeah. So, but whatever. Like when people get too far, I make sure to call them out. But right now, I think it's cool.
I agree.
This show has been completely off the rails. I don't know what's gonna happen if we keep going.
This is the Clutch Corner. Like, Alex, what do you like?
Look,
What do you
I said there's no rules.
I feel bad for anybody who's tuned in into like the last hour. That's the problem.
They came on here expecting some hardcore reporting.
No, we did that.
All right,
the first half hour.
I bet you.
Did that.
I bet you 70% of people here are still holding on to the hope that in the last 2 minutes of this show, I'm gonna say something that's like really juicy.
Harden to Miami. Then we end the show.
Bro, I told him before the show, I'm just going to spill the beans. I told him before the show, we were trying to figure out how to get his green screen working. I told him to put a Photoshop photo of James Harden in the Heat jersey behind him, and that's going to be how we was going to start the show. It happened.
I mean, it wasn't my show to start. The first 30 minutes was 5 on the floor extended version.
I mean, that is how you sold Clutch Corner, an extension of 5 on the floor. I think Ethan took it too literally.
Well, I mean, he's the one who told.
Well, I guess I'm hosting then.
I'm here. I might as well talk for 40 minutes.
No, he went. He started saying whatever he wanted, and then he was like, "Alex, what are your thoughts on this?" And I was like,
"Who has thoughts after you just sat up there and said everybody's thoughts in one breath?"
Okay, actually, you know what? Let's go back to the Heat real quick. Luke Kennard got like $18 million a year.
We are screwed with Duncan, bro.
Pay that man.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm dead serious. Pay that man.
If
you pay Duncan, but
20,
they got his rights.
But is 20 million Duncan Robinson better than 300 grand Max Strus?
Yes.
Oh, I don't like that. Duncan Robinson just had the best catch and shoot season in history, man. In his first real year in the league. Like, I think I get that generally. Maybe like if you would have done that conversation with Wayne Ellington, yeah. and that's kind of ultimately what they did. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna hold on to Duncan, and I get it, right? Like they can kind of create Duncan Robinsons. I get that whole idea, but man,
Duncan might be Pat Riley's
grandson. Dude, like this is facts. The best catch and shoot season by volume and efficiency in NBA history in his first season as a starter. I mean,
I understand.
That's why I think they're holding on to him over everything else.
But what's the upside? Did he reach his potential?
The upside is he gives you an elite offense because having Jimmy and Bam without the surrounding shooting, I think becomes tougher to work out. And that became kind of a problem that never became a problem because of Duncan Robinson.
I get that, but I still kind of I feel like if you can pick up another Duncan or at least half of what Duncan does, I think that's better than paying Duncan Robinson $25 million because I feel like the number's actually going to be 23 to 25 million. Royal?
That's crazy.
I don't think he's going to ask for that much. I think he does get a heated discount. 20 to me is a discount for Duncan Robinson. And yeah, you can find somebody who gives you a facsimile of what Duncan does, but I don't know, man. Like even if he doesn't grow as a player another inch, he's still going to be highly effective for the next 10 years, like just doing what he already does.
Exactly how I feel.
It's like you're only hoping that Max Strus is what Duncan Robinson is. So, like that's kind of 5 reasons to give Alex the max. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody also said in the comments that Duncan read about Ethan in his textbooks, and I thought that was funny.
Someone said that
no, they kept Ethan out of the textbooks. He didn't give him credit.
Someone said Woj checks for Ethan under his bed at night.
No, that's mean. That's mean.
No, I said if Duncan's game doesn't grow an inch, that's Noah, whatever your name is. Like, if Duncan's game doesn't grow another inch, then he's going to be an effective player at what he already does for at least 10 years. Because
effective is understating it at this point, man.
What, effective?
Yeah, I think that's.
But I think he loses effectiveness though. Like, I mean, yeah, during the regular season he might be scorching, but in the playoffs, people concentrate more on his game. You know, they do more to get him off his spots. He can't be.
That opens things up for everybody else, though.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
but
so
that's part of his effectiveness.
If you guys are all in on Duncan and keeping him on the roster past this year, that means you're going to be a taxed team, which also means Myers is gone, Kelly is gone, Iggy is gone, Nunn is gone. Who else? Who else is gone? Goran would have to take very little, right? Because
but that's not the plan, though. Like that's why we're playing this balloon payment now, so that he can take very little for the rest of his career.
No, but very little is like minimum.
Ooh.
I mean, he's getting paid for the next 2 years, and he just came off a serious injury, and he's got some age and wear and tear on him.
1 year.
It was 1+1, isn't it?
It's a 1+1, but okay.
They're probably going to decline that option on him.
Okay,
I'm just saying, I don't know about 2021 free agency anymore.
Here's what you could do, right? You can accept the team options on all of those guys. Guys like
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That season with the man with the golden arm was legendary, bro.
He was right there. I'm definitely not talking down on Wayne Ellington, man.
And then Spo got racist and put him on the bench.
I say Duncan is playing with sneaky athleticism.
Yeah, in all reality, Duncan is Wayne Ellington with 6'8" and a 6'8" wingspan. Like that's really what it is.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's like if they got Wayne Ellington that one season and just trained him to be like that from the start of his career.
Yep, run a bunch of floppy sets and just run around.
That's all it is, right? Like, and I think we all kind of know that, but I just think it's tough to get that elite level from somebody else, man. I think it's gonna be tough. I think they could do similar stuff. Like I think Tyler Herro's going to get better at that type of role too. I don't think he was awesome at it last year. I think he was better on the ball than coming off of curls. But they're going to be. I mean, I think that's something that's just going to be a part of the NBA regimen now. It's just like that's the obvious way to make shooters better is look at the Duncan Robinson and Wayne Ellingtons of the world and how they were used.
Right, exactly, and he is the whole offense. Him and Bam, they're the whole offense. You can't replace them. Which is why I understand why they don't want to make any trades involving Duncan Robinson, because then if you have James Harden, it's a whole new offense, and you don't have training camp. Like, if Duncan's gone, you're starting from scratch. Yeah. So
that's their pet play. It's true.
So I get it.
Literally start off every game with it, and teams still fall for it. Like every single regular season game I went to last year, they started off first possession of the game, and it would work almost every time.
What happens if Duncan can shoot off the dribble?
I think he's gonna get slowly but surely better than that. Kind of like Joe Harris, where like he's not. Joe Harris is not somebody who's gonna kill you off the dribble, but he's somebody who, if a team runs out of the 3-point line, whereas Duncan almost all the time is looking to pass, which I get why he does it, keep the ball moving. Whereas if they're running at him hard, he can kind of fake, do a dribble, get into the lane a little bit, and
you
then
can't dribble them yet.
I mean, a 1 or 2 dribble type of thing. I think that's kind of what you're asking for from him, not too much more than that, because he obviously doesn't move very well. He doesn't have that type of handle of a guard. I think it's kind of pump and go. Collapse the paint a little bit more, make that next pass, or if he's got the floater, I mean, I think that would be pretty good too. If he added a floater to his game, it would just involve too many dribbles before the floater, I think is the problem.
You should get a dribble pull up then, like maybe 1-2 dribble pull up game. I think that's a small step for Duncan, and he'll be able to do it. Like he already does the little side step thing, so I think teaching him how to dribble one time and go in there is cool. Figure out and cheat.
I always thought that Joe Harris and Duncan should sit in the gym all day together or all summer together, and that Duncan should just lift with Joe Harris all day.
I mean, Joe Harris should be, as far as like the other parts of the game, because Duncan is obviously ahead of him shooting-wise, at least a little bit. But Harris is a solid defender. Yeah, no, I'm just saying Harris is really good too at that part. But Harris is a solid defender, and like I said, with the pump and go stuff, like I think those are easy stuff that Duncan can add to his game just to make himself a little bit more valuable. I think.
You know what? Speaking of Duncan, I said this on the last show, and I want your take on it, Alex. I think that all 5 white lineup has superpowers. We haven't seen it since the Celtics went on a 10-year run of dominance.
What is going on here?
What do you think? Like a similar theory to like our all left-handed lineup that we could have threw out there a couple years back.
Look, if you put up Goran, Duncan, Tyler, Kelly, and Myers.
I'm out on that. I don't know why you even asked me that question. That team is getting ripped apart and shredded on defense. Like, are you kidding me?
They give up 140
their defensive liabilities on the floor at the same time.
Think I want to see it. I want to see it.
I don't. They should have, honestly, the window for seeing that, preseason just ended. That was the window for that lineup. I don't want to see it.
It's the sneaky, like that comment says, the sneaky athleticism lineup.
No,
right? If you combine all 5 sneaky athleticisms together.
The only thing sneaky about it is how sneaky fast you're going to end up losing the game, and the game's going to be over in the third quarter. You're going to be down 35 because that team will not be able to guard anybody. Maybe they can outscore, but shit, that's like
Adam Silver would find them for segregation.
They don't have one person on that lineup that can defend their position for a whole game
or create separation on offense. Like, what are we doing here?
Here's the thing, Alex. Last year, you have no idea how many times Spo has flirted with putting that lineup out on the floor, and I've watched it. He's put 4 guys out on the court at the same time, and there's always I'm always waiting.
Goran, all of those guys were in the rotation last year. That's the thing. So
I know
playing multiple of them at a time. I mean, playing all 5, you're just asking for trouble, man. Like, I think we're trying to improve their defense. That's why they signed Avery and Mo, and they're playing Precious and KZ. They're not trying to go backwards. Like
somebody said, the Trump lineup.
It's the mega clutch lineup.
Miami Heat put it well the other day. I saw on their show their whole theory that they have a roster set to trade to the Rockets because so many guys there between the white guys and between Precious, following right wing media accounts. They thought that the Rockets Trumpy owner would like that. So I think that's very light years for the Heat to think that way.
Right. The Ben said the lineup will have the best credit score in the NBA.
Okay, I forgot. I can't. Me and you can't laugh at that, Adam. That's not good.
What do you mean I can't laugh at that?
And the ties in that, man, historical ties, man.
I have amazing credit.
That lineup is only possible if Donald Sterling's running the team. Hey, if there's anybody following the path of Donald Sterling in the NBA right now that's an owner, it's Tillman Fertitta.
That's true. Could you imagine if Spo puts out the all-white lineup
I mean, the
Black
build a wall
Lives
line is
Matter on the
perfect. 'Cause it's in
court.
Texas.
Put the Black Lives Matter logo on the court.
It'd be like some Glory Road shit, wouldn't it? Like, I'm only playing the white guys today, Jimmy and Bam. If he would have did that shit in the finals, they would be at Spo's head, bro. I'm only playing the white players this series, guys.
Look at that comment.
No, people are asking in the comments if Precious is MAGA. We cannot confirm that, but people did see that he was following Newsmax. He was following One America News Network. I want to say Fox News. And look, he could just be getting the perspective for all we know. I don't care about his politics, but I do think that whole theory is a good one. I might sweeten the deal for Fertitta.
Show him his following list. No, but I mean, I think he's all right. I think
this is the type of guy we got to build around.
But here's the thing. I think Precious is like that.
Around.
He grew up in Nigeria, right? He was in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right, and he's very religious.
Let me get to some production right
His
quick.
parents are like ministers or something.
Right.
And all of his brothers and sisters have names similar to Precious. Like he has a brother named God's Gift, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Grace, peace.
We haven't talked about that enough, by the way. His brother's name is God's Gift. That is an awesome name.
Oh, speaking of which, Alex, I gave Precious the name Chewy. Wasn't this the guy that said his girlfriend left him?
No, he said something else earlier.
He said his wife died.
Man, it's full of shit, man. I see him in every show. That's why I felt comfortable playing the comment. I know he's full of shit. That's to monitor these comments every show.
Yeah, his brother's name is literally God's Gift. So he's a very religious guy. His parents are preachers. His older brother's name is Justice. It fits. No, but it fits. That's
We have. I mean, damn. I'm gonna have to I might have to take my name off of this after the show, man. There is too much subtle, not subtle racism going on here. I can't be associated with this.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna lose my credential.
you're not.
I'm gonna
losing
lose
that.
my ticket to the 100 level and nothing else. Because
Once Ethan left, the Heat executives left. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, they weren't even watching in the first place.
Well, so you gonna lose your seat right next to the crowd noise?
Yo, they put me there for a reason, man. I said, shut up. We're gonna.
Because you're always late, so they put you there.
Yeah, and I was late that game too.
So you were just following the Miami trend.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, the traffic. Getting in the game was hard with that, that crowd of people.
Oh, and I bet you parking was horrendous.
Horrendous, bro. That's honestly the best part about this. Like, I don't like losing the access. Like, I got about 4 or 5 months of being in the locker room, and that's it. It's gone. But all of that, right? We just get a ticket to the 100 level, which I love. Right? I still get to go. It's cool. It's great. The good thing about it is the parking, though, man. You get to park right there underwards. I don't got to pay anything. Before I was paying $20-$25 to park next to Biscayne. To Bayside. Shit is a grift, man. I'm glad.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I agree.
I agree.
Greg and Ethan left, and show was fun and hilarious. On to something.
No, but that's different, man. Five on the floor is different from this, man.
Yeah,
Five on the floor is different.
Yeah, but I bet you they still wouldn't have this much fun. Ethan.
You think it'd be fun-ish?
Wow.
I tried. Alex, the buzzkill of the
Yeah.
episode. Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Look,
Alex
man, I've been the one playing the comments, all right? A lot of you people are getting empowered by me right now.
Alex is the
What you
real
say.
MVP of the show.
I'm playing a lot of comments that wouldn't be played on a regular show, so just give me a little bit of credit.
So what you trying to say? We're not a regular show, Alex?
Look, well, this is the show. This is the direction that Adam took it. All right? I'm just following along the path.
That's subtle racism right there.
Oh,
What do you mean that show?
that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about going off the rails, talking shit, playing.
I think we need to take
no.
our name off this show. It's a little too.
You were talking about
We
the
just gotta edit
African
the last
and
half hour. I think
African
we'll be okay.
That's what we should change the name to, Clutch. The African and the African American.
Yeah.
God, bro.
But
Yeah.
see, that's what you're talking about.
See, I'm African. You don't. You don't believe me?
Yo, my bad. Well, how you feel about that?
Is that
comment?
funny to you?
Look, we're still with the Ethan slander in the comment though.
That's
Oh, absolutely. Raisin Brand.
next time Ethan needs a new one, just keep driving.
Listen, Ethan doesn't hit me up for Ubers anyways.
Ethan wears fanny packs.
Jesus.
Clutch, I'm Moroccan and Israeli. You're 50% African.
Oh, so you're the one who makes the call now?
Excuse you.
He's the most African person here. He's the aficionado of this crew.
I guess there you go.
Just because it's North Africa doesn't mean it's not Africa.
Food in the blender.
Ethan is hip. What's called?
No, Ethan was on the 5 Reasons Sports Hour on Friday, and he called the man little baby.
Wait, all right. Let's talk about the.
I'm just sick of this shit, man. I mean, most of them are going along with this, so I can't say much.
No, all right. What else? What do we have to say about the Heat? I mean, look, I'm really excited to watch KZ play. That's entering every season. There's always one guy that I'm really excited to watch. Stop. Stop.
I think it's a visual Ethan dabbing. I'm trying to get like what's the more modern one? Ethan hitting the folks like.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
God.
Continue.
No, who does Spo start for the last preseason game? We're done with the preseason. The season starts in 2 days.
What? Is that a real question? Yo, man. Look, man, I can't blame him. He, according to his picture, he has a family. I don't blame him for not being on.
Look, I mean, it's weird that the Heat only had 2 preseason games.
Yeah, it is.
So
It's off. It's a weird year, man. I don't blame anybody for being off about it. I'm still all the way off, and I'm supposed to be covering the team. Oh man, Ethan still uses Napster. The fucking Napster.
Look,
Friendster. Is that the cousin of Friendster?
No, bro. Napster used to download music off of, bro, back in the day.
come on, Alex.
Like, I started with LimeWire, right?
Yeah, you started with LimeWire.
All right. Well, am I wrong in suggesting that KZ is the most exciting thing about the start of the season? Because that's my opinion. I think KZ's growth and watching what Spo does with him to start the season
as like a secondary, yeah, for sure. Because I think I was really excited what he did last game. I think to me, I think it was like the young core in general. I think that last game versus Toronto, I mean, that's awesome.
An outlier. I think that's an outlier.
No, it's an outlier for sure. But I just think like a lot of them showed like kind of what they're capable of in the NBA as far as their skills, not necessarily that type of production, but like Strus, like. I'm sorry. I feel confident already in him as a shooter, and not right away. He's not going to be in the rotation anytime soon. We know that, but I think like clearly the guy can shoot and's got some confidence, even if he, laid an egg in that first game. I think you look at Precious, man. Precious was almost just as impressive to me as KZ.
But the thing is, all right, Alex, look,
it's all of them as a whole to me.
KZ's not taking 17 shots in the next game.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I think to me, the question with KZ was, what's his NBA skills going to be? And I think like he was kind of a jack of all trades coming in, and I think you see the appeal with him, the size, the length. He started off as a guard, he had the what's it called, the growth spurt. I blanked out for a second there. He had the growth spurt, and ball handling forward, who can defend, who can shoot a little bit, and if that shot is real and it looks more real than Mo Harkless's, I'm in on him, man. He can dribble and shoot better than Mo Harkless. And if you tell me he can defend at a similar level, I'm in on KZ as a starter.
Oh, you're talking about KZ?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, that shot, it's a little funky, right? The way he shoots it, it's a little weird. It's a little unorthodox.
He's just going to take open set shots, and that's the thing.
What I'm concerned is, all right, is he just a corner 3 specialist? I want to see him hit threes from all angles.
That's good enough. If he can hit that corner 3.
I disagree because if he just hits threes and he doesn't do anything else, right? We know he could dribble, but
but he could put the ball on the floor at least. Like Harkless can't do any of that. And then on top of that, like he's got younger legs to me, and it could probably move him a little bit than Harkless, who kind of looks like he can't really guard quicker guys at all. Doesn't look like he can guard stronger guys. I'm not trying to, talk down on Harkless too much. I'm just saying he's kind of like a tweener, I think, for what they need at the 4.
Right.
Like I think he's kind of an awkward fit. Like he's a nice placeholder, like Ethan has said in the past. And I have been saying this whole time, like I don't think KZ is going to be a solid part of the rotation. But if he's showing you this stuff now, and Harkless is going down, like you get me, they're going in opposite directions. If Harkless is playing solid, it would be a different story. But it's tough. I'm not trying to overreact to 2 games, man. But I would be excited about KZ, probably right behind being excited about the other young guys in the team who have obviously already, planted their flag more. I think I'm most excited about Bam. I think he's still got a little bit more to go, and he's not going to go off in the regular season. Like he's not going to be Game 6 versus Boston Bam all year. But to me, Bam is just going to keep getting better. Like he's a sure thing.
I'm different than you, Alex, because I expect Bam to take that leap, right? So I expect Bam to be able.
You expect him to put up a much larger stat line than last season?
No. I expect him to shoot from the elbows now. I expect him to be able to hit a 3 a game or something like that. Maybe. I just expect him to be a better player, right?
Yeah.
The unknowns like Tyler.
That's why I'm excited, because like he is to me he's the key to why they got there in the finals, and the key to their their sustenance as a contender going forward. I think he's a cheat code, man. And the more that he adds to his game, the more it becomes tougher to guard them, man. Like I think they were almost unguardable as far as their offense throughout the playoffs with all these elite defenses. That every single team they played in the playoffs was an elite defense, all 4, and they were still able to run their offense because of what Bam and Duncan do. And I think like if Bam just adds more options for them to run, like the shot, like you said, like eventually an open 3, and just kind of a higher level of aggression that he gets to in the playoffs and kind of sustaining that, I think it's just gonna. Bam is a cheat code, man. That's all I got to say.
I think Adam is kind of looking for something similar to what we had last year with Duncan and
the surprise.
2 things that came out of nowhere that we didn't expect for the team, like
KZ and Strus.
Yeah, so KZ and Strus would fit that mold where they come out and they produce at a higher level than anybody anticipated prior to the season. And what you're looking for is the internal growth that everybody's thinking about, like saying what is Bam's next league? Yeah, we can expect
contender. I'm thinking contender talk. How do we win the title?
But the thing is, okay, I want to see, if the Heat aren't willing to put Tyler Hero on the pedestal of being traded, I want to see Tyler Hero become who the Heat think he's going to become, which is
in year 2.
Yes,
he's trying.
Yes, if he's starting, and if he's starting, and he started in the finals, did he start or did he come off the bench?
He started in the finals.
He started on the finals, right? And we've seen glimpses of him playing point guard. I expect him to score 18 points a game this season, at least.
Yeah, I don't
for him to become who the Heat say he's going to become.
I think that's fair, though. I think that's fair to ask him to score 18 points, maybe get you 4 or 5 assists and 4 or 5 rebounds. I think that's all within range of what we can expect from Tyler Hero. I think some people were looking at him to make this massive jump into like the 20-plus point per game score, and that's not realistic for him, considering the fact that he has Bam and Jimmy on the team.
If he gets that eventually, that's a gigantic win, considering where you drafted him. Like, I think him getting there, period, would just be huge. I mean, he's not going to get to at this point. It's hard to be that type of guy, man. And I think, like, especially when you don't have the physical aspects. Like, I think Tyler is going to be a great player, a very good player for his career. I just don't think he's ever going to get to that even that Devin Booker level. And look, man, I could be wrong. I think he has already proven everybody wrong as far as up to now, and he's just so far ahead, I think, of what we thought he was going to be. But I think he's a little bit limited as far as the physical stuff, and why I think Chef Trilly said on the first episode of Clutch Corner, he's kind of going to be like a third player in his prime, maybe a second if everything goes really, really well as far as on offense. But I think 3 is kind of his ceiling, and that's a really good player, man. That's a really good player. But that's why you trade a guy like him and others for James Harden.
You see, me and Chef Trilly are aligned on all of this stuff. I don't think he's the second or third best player on a championship team at his prime. I think he's the
third is probably like if everything goes right. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's the second or third or fourth best scorer on a championship team.
Yeah, maybe not player, but scorer.
Yeah,
right.
I think defensively, he's always going to be lacking to a certain extent for his career. So he's not going to be the defender that you will expect from a 1 or a 2 option or something like that. But in terms of scoring, Like I see no reason why he shouldn't be able to eventually reach a level where he's scoring 20 to 24, 25 points a game for somebody.
I just want to go back. I want to go back to the KZ conversation that we were having earlier. One thing, I know it probably means nothing, but the one thing I look at when I'm looking at young guys or unknowns that we don't know much about. So like a guy like KZ, right? Who's seen him play the most? Who's seen him, in practice? Spo and the players, right? So
Stanford.
When a guy like KZ,
all those years at Stanford.
Yeah. So when a guy like KZ is in the corner and he's in his shooting motion, I don't look at him shooting, right? When I'm looking at highlights, I look at the bench because I want to see if they are already on their feet cheering because they know it's going to go in. Do they expect it to go in? Which tells me it's a reflection of what they see in practice. I know I'm looking too much into it, but that's what I like to look at to tell me if something's real or something's fake.
That might be some of the secret sauce that you got over there, bro. I never thought to look. I always look at like his shot form, how his feet are looking.
Yeah, you look at that first, but then on a second or third look, I like to look at the bench to see if they are already up in their feet cheering because they expect it to go in.
I mean, KZ had a huge change in confidence between game 1 and game 2 of the preseason because I was there for that game 1. He was so hesitant, and I did not come away with that game impressed with him, especially like on the offensive side. And
you were ready to trade him before Precious.
Yeah, that's true. I did say that. I still probably feel that way. I love Precious, and I think he easily projects. But I don't think KZ's far off, man. I think Precious just projects as somebody who's going to be always a good, screen and roll big. Somebody's going to give you rebounding, switch defense. Like I think it's clear what he's going to bring to an NBA team. And I think I had more questions with KZ, but that last game was like, well, if he's just going to be pretty good at everything, like I see the appeal, and he's got the length and size, and he's outplaying Mo Harkless already. And
yeah, but in all likelihood, Spo's not going to start him because that's just what Spo does. Yeah. I'd love for KZ to start, but in all likelihood,
how surprised would you be if game 1 the starting lineup is Avery Bradley and Myers Leonard along with Jimmy Bam and Duncan?
No way.
That was the lineup that I predicted.
That's a slow move, man. I don't know.
That's the lineup that I predicted from the beginning, bro, because I feel like that's a very Spo lineup to have out there. It's safe. You know what you're going to get, and you already know how fast you putting Myers' ass on the bench anyway, so it don't matter. Like, I just feel like that's the same lineup.
It's true, and the secret sauce is that starting lineup, and I think that's kind of what Spo showed you last season. The secret sauce is Jimmy Bam and Duncan, and like I think everything else outside of that, and he's like, that's why you're going to put Nunn and Myers there for the regular season. They're just going to feed off these easy shots that these other guys are creating. Meanwhile, you got Goran and Tyler coming off the bench with Kelly, another guy who can help the offense moving, and all of a sudden you got lineups all game that are just really effective, and I think better than an average bench lineup that I think we almost take for granted now, like how good these bench lineups that they've been rolling out are. I'm good with Tyler starting, though. That's the thing.
Tyler starting
on the developmental side. I think he's going to.
Yeah, and I don't want to bring the race back into it, but I think Myers might be the white UD at this point.
It's weird to pay him and then not play him, especially when Crowder walked. But I'm good with them playing KZ over Myers. I'm all in.
Mm-hmm. I think Trilly gave us a pretty good analogy of what they were doing with Myers. It was just like, you can't veto any trade that we put you in. Like, we'll get you your money, but if we trade you, bro, you have to go through with it. And I think that's kind of like the handshake agreement that they have with that deal.
It sucks, though, because they can't trade him until, what is it, February or March?
February 2nd or 6th, one of those. Someone said Ethan drank Coca-Cola when it had Coke in it.
Why am I still here? I don't know. Why?
I don't know either. I don't know why I'm still here. I need to be going to work soon, man.
Ethan still uses a phone book.
A phone book.
Wait. There was another one. I liked. Ethan was there during the naming of Precious and God's Gift.
It said Ethan uses Bing.
White Men Can't Jump was inspired by watching Ethan hoop.
I don't think Ethan uses Bing. I think Ethan uses Axe Jeeves.
Oh, Ethan tried to sell me his Razor. Razor, like the scooter. K-Nun will start. I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think he will play. So it's like I don't know if K-Nun is K-Nun still in the rotation at this point?
it's tough. Like I think you got to put him in the rotation, just especially if you're going to be looking to trade him. But it's like they have a glut. They have a glut at the guard position.
Is he in Tyler's role now? Did him and Tyler essentially just switch roles? Where he's
here's my thing
with Goran?
Here's my thing for the regular season. No Goran, no Andre Iguodala. Let him rest until the playoffs for all I care. Put out that damn bench lineup with an all-youth bench lineup. And I don't know how much their win total goes down. And just have Goran and Andre healthy for the, for what's important. That's where I'm at. But that's why I'm not in the front office.
Ethan was there for the Big Bang and yelled at it for being too loud.
Somebody say Ethan's first card, the Mobile T.
The Model T.
The Model T.
I'm sorry. Ah, damn.
No, but I mean, I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. It's really interesting what they're going to do. The first 10 games are going to be huge. We know how Pat always uses the first 20 to 25 games as a benchmark to see if he wants to make trades, right? I think in a condensed season like this one, it'll be the first 10 to 15 games.
Yeah,
so, all right. I think we've milked this entire thing a little too far. Just give me a few more Ethan jokes and we'll close it out there.
Ethan tried to steal the Flintstones car. Ethan gets his wolves from a rotary phone. He plays music on voicemail.
I think Ethan records music when it's playing off the radio station so he can play it as his ringtone.
Yeah, he recorded on a cassette tape.
That's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. All right. Are we good there? Anyone else?
Yeah. Ethan still has an AOL account. No, he still used the disc for AOL.
Ethan has carpet in his bathroom and kitchen. That's just a weird one, man.
What is it that like grandparents the stuff that they put over the couch? You know what I'm talking about?
Plastic.
Huh?
Plastic.
Yes, it's just plastic. I don't know. I blanked out on plastic.
Yeah. What do they put on their couches? What's that thing? Plastic.
What's that clear substance?
The soft glass. What is it?
Ethan uses floppy disks to save his money. You think Ethan knows how to do that? That's all Alex, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I want to give Alex credit. All the editing is him. Most of the editing, right?
Yeah, most of the editing. Only the good things.
And all the producing from tonight. And him and Alejandro. But good shit, Alex.
Yeah, this is the time to
like Alejandro was smart and bailed like an hour and a half ago.
Wait, we gotta.
You can tell he has an actual media job and knows when to stop.
Wait. We gotta shout out all the guys before we close. At the point where they won't be listening, so it's Alejandro, Manny,
Ethan, Greg,
Ricky J. Mark,
who
made the amazing voiceover.
You can play it out at the end. I think
David and Michael, who do the post-game shows with me for the games.
Right. So I don't know if they're all going to see this. No, they're not going to see this.
Nah, probably not. Oh, shout out to Taco. You and his show was pretty interesting when you guys went on there. The Taco
that
show
was fun. We just used it to roast Ethan a little more.
Yeah.
So Ethan still wears a robe after he takes a shower. I mean,
that's not completely old.
Like, I wish I had a robe.
Right? If Ethan paid anybody, we might can afford some.
He needs to get a webcam first.
Or a mic.
Ethan,
no, he's got the mic, but only for the podcast. That's been my struggle. I've been trying to get him for the past year to invest in a webcam. Were you here the other day when he went on live with his webcam and it had like terrible quality? I don't know how that happened, but I think that's the next step. That's like the Bam getting the jump shot is Ethan getting the webcam.
Just never.
Where does the donation money go if it's not towards like?
Yeah, it's.
See, Alex, you should have ended the show 8 minutes ago when we was wrapping up, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still looking for the video, man. I found it.
Oh yeah, you should play the intro at the end. So as we go out for the last 48 seconds.
And again, just to sum it all up, read the donations. I'm gonna bring that up at a better time, and that is the exact theme that we've been talking about throughout all of this, man. Timing and when to play your cards. I'm not gonna piss off Ethan while the events of this month are still relevant. So I need to ask for that in 2021, the new year. nice reset.
You should bring it up
Ethan's
on the
saving for his
pod.
Roth IRA. That's what he's saving
It's
for.
tough.
You
But
bring
then
it up
you're gonna
on
have
the
to
pod
evenly
when
split
he
it up between
gets
everybody. It's too many people to split it up with, man. I think that's he's probably just procrastinating. That's gonna be annoying as hell.
There were some streams where we got like $1,000 on one stream. There's no way you can't split that.
We made a good 500 that stream though. There hasn't been any other ones like that, but that's
And
not
half
nothing.
of them were like, Alex, stop Ubering. This is for you. Or
Adam break some news or something like that.
Adam announced Harden.
It's like Ethan looks at these comments when he's taking the money out of the bank. He sees the one where it says, Alex, stop Ubering. This is
He says a little prayer for you and Alex every time he spends some of the money that y'all raised for him.
You see that we're doing too much to Ethan's character right now. Man.
I don't get paid, so I can say what I want.
You know what we could do? We could just put like a Clutch Corner Venmo up. We can make one, right? And then whoever comes on the show, we just split it evenly.
Hey, there we go.
Right? And the thing is, I know Ethan's not watching this at 2 hours and 15
He wouldn't even know. Too bad that it's not retroactive though.
We got to keep it hush in the comments, though. They can't say nothing when he be in here spying on what we got going on.
Well, we could put like secret messages. Ethan sent all the donations to Biden. Probably, yeah, that's probably true. If you follow his personal, he probably does.
Ethan rigged the election.
Stop the count.
Ethan would get his hands on that Venmo. He absolutely would.
That was Adam today after that the Sun Sentinel statement about Hardy came out. Stop the count. All right, are we done?
All right, you want to play the? All right, any more comments before we play the intro?
Yeah, play the intro on the way out. The whole thing is time, Alex.
Come on, give me one more good one for us to close on.
Yeah, it's on the commenters, man.
Plays ball on basket nailed to a tree.
Ethan sings in the street doo-wop group.
Ethan used those donations to buy out Alf.
Yo, Ben, you're the show's MVP, bro.
Ben, every time.
Alf is Gilbert Arenas, man. Swindled. Is Gilbert Arenas still getting paid by the Magic?
Wait, someone said Harden in Miami or no? Yes, my sources are telling me that it's done and it's happening tomorrow. All right, close it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Clutch Corner, an insider show giving you the latest news on all things Miami Heat and around the NBA. The Clutch Corner is an extension of 5 on the Floor, part of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Now, here are your hosts, Clutch Adam and... Really? There's another black guy in this network? Huh, cool. Royal A. Shepherd. Take it away, gentlemen.